God, focus.
Alright, pull it in. Pull your actor out. Alright, so, with that in mind, you guys have fled from combat against pursuing orcs that were chasing after apparently Quack, who somehow managed to run back into you guys. You are now fleeing northwestward, back towards more or less where you came from, towards the mountain face, which was recently blasted by an explosion from the necklace that you escaped.
How's that looking, by the way?
That mountain? Yeah, make a perception check as you're like looking through the trees and you guys are sprinting, you're breathing heavy, sweat starting to gather up on your forearms, you're starting to feel that lactic acid build up. A 12? So as you look at the mountain face, you kind of remember what it looked like originally, because you guys were kind of setting up so much torchlight and shit when you were preparing to do the actual necklace ritual. It definitely does appear like there's a giant, like, fissure running down the side of it.
God.
Which presents potentials to you. And so the orcs could be chasing you, and you guys are currently running towards that mountain face. What do you guys want to do? You've seen them gain some distance currently.
Let's do a jog by and see what it is. Sure.
So you guys are running towards the fissure?
Yeah, let's do a jog by. We're gonna go take a look.
Wait. How big is it?
I mean, you're kind of far away right now.
We don't have no time schedule.
Make a perception check, Evelyn, for you. Someone can give you the info. Laris can get distracted while everybody's helping. Jesus Christ, Jackhammer, Mickey Mouse in the doo-doo hole with Long Dart and Garth Brooks give birth to something resembling a cheddar cheese log with almonds on Santa Claus's tummy tum.
Owl's always beautiful when she's looking for things.
My viewers are trying to distract me with a whole bunch of string of random nouns. I just happened to see this giant block of text. I went, what is this talking about? Alright, so what'd you roll, Evelyn?
21.
21! Okay, so that, at the top of the mountain is where it starts. It doesn't look terribly big, but the more it goes down, the more wider it gets. Estimations, you would assume that you guys could fit through it, for sure, depending on where you want to enter it.
I just think we should go that way.
We should take a closer look. Come on, it's interesting. There's a giant hole in the mountain.
But
Is there?
We have no time frame.
we get stuck. I don't think we can afford to get stuck in a fissure right now.
Wait, she rolled a 21. How fucking big is it, Lair?
That's what I'm saying. It's narrow at the top where it seems to start, and then it gets wider as you go down the mountain. So there would definitely be a point somewhere on this mountain, this fissure, where you guys would absolutely get through. Whether there's stuff there or not stuff there, I can't play the game for you. I can just give you the information, so you decide what you want.
Don't have a time frame.
I just lay it out. This is what it looks like. Maybe there's something there, maybe not.
I say it sounds cool. Let's go check it out. We have no time frame.
Look, come on.
3 months later. Oh my god, daylight!
So, Doma's starting to wander off that way. Is anyone else following?
Haname will follow.
Quack will follow for sure.
Alright.
As he's like with you guys, he starts telling you about his broken not bird language, but his broken common, because he has really low intellect. That there is a large amount of orcs that seem to be roaming towards northwest of here. And that this is kind of where he talks about what he's seen since you guys kind of split off after you started entering that blight-infested area. Remember that one morning he kind of ventured off to get food, and then
We killed an owl bear.
yes, and you haven't seen him since. So he kind of talks about what he's seen to you all. And I'm not going to actually speak his entire voice because it'd be very annoying to do it over and over and over. So just to give you the information, so that we save the most amount of time possible. He basically roamed westward, and then noticed that there was orc footprints, which was concerning to him. So he started tracking those. He then found an orc warband with a female, what appeared to be a female orc caster in it. He kept eyes on that group for a good while before he decided that he was then going to try to track you guys down. It took him a couple days before he finally started seeing tracks that you guys left intentionally behind, which Haname's character was doing, if you remember. but he couldn't find you. And then along the way, he eventually managed to get surprise attacked by this specific warband, and he mentions there's a good 50 to 100 potentially of these guys currently scouring the mountainside. He's not sure why they're currently concentrating and going northwestward. They seem to have some kind of notion that that's where they need to go. But he was just trying to escape, and he managed to run into you guys, which by the twist of the gods, he's safe, or theoretically safe, better in numbers than not. And that's kind of what he tells you about. So you know the following: there are a ton of orcs in this area, a large number of them, and they're looking for something. And he is of the mindset that you guys should either flee or hide somewhere. That's what he's basically suggesting, with his expert tracking skills.
Let's see. Bloody hell. Quack, can you make us all sneaky as we go up to here?
He looks at his hands and he shakes his head no. And magic gone. That's what he tells you.
Good or
no magic gone now. Back tomorrow.
Okay.
Alright, let's try and hide our tracks as we move along, shall we?
Not good. Too slow. Catch up. Move now.
Yeah. Move.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go to it.
I think
Look at Roderick.
it's double time for the day.
Okay, so you guys just keep moving towards the fissure. That's what it sounded like. Okay, so you go back towards eventually you find yourself back in that, where they find the stream. You follow the stream upwards, and you find yourself, through its murky water, you find the large landslide, and you kind of like traverse a little bit past that, where you then find the fissure. And along it, like mentioned, there's a point where there's entry on it. You guys kind of, I guess, purposely looking for a way into it, go down a little bit lower elevation where it's wider, and there is a clearing that you could enter the mountain.
Can I see anything?
So as you stare down this crevice, as you kind of like push some rocks to the side and look through there's this kind of damp breeze kind of blowing through. And as you look through there, it's dark down there, but with the air current, you surmise that there's an actual internal cave structure inside the mountain.
I swear to God, if this goes to the end dark.
This is not going towards Windheim, I'm gonna guess here.
Just, hey, shortcut.
But it might be a place to camp out for the day.
It might be a place to hide.
There are a lot of
place
doors.
to get surrounded and killed.
Right.
But there is a breeze coming through, guys, so that it does exit somewhere else.
Some of us go, others stay. Maybe. Quack!
Wow. We really did not want to see it that much.
Oh, damn. Quack probably slightly dejected.
He just rushes to the side.
He's going to stare at everyone. You really didn't know the half of it, and just shivers.
Quack, jeez.
Some go, yes?
Are we going in or what, guys?
Okay, so what are we going to do? Some of us stay over just in case, and some of us go down just to see if it's clear.
I go. Quack lifts his hand in the air.
I wouldn't mind checking it out if I could see in the dark.
But no light. Need light.
I have some light. I have some light.
Okay, what do you think?
I'm not really liking going to the cave, but
I'm not either.
Regardless, we need to try to stay at least somewhat close together.
I'm thinking if dark, even
yeah.
slow us down though. If we're trying to outrun something, that's kind of silly.
Well, I mean, they also don't probably expect us to jump into a fissure.
I mean, I imagine
Can I look back and see how
check
obvious
around.
it is went this way?
What was the question there, Donna?
Can I look back and see how obvious it is that we went this way?
You can make a survival check to see if you can find your own tracks, which would be more easy for you to do. So go and do it with advantage.
With advantage.
Your guys' current. I mean, you could keep going down more, but the entrance that you found, it's a good.
It went from an at 1 to a 3.
I mean, it varies, but primarily, like, I mean, you could all easily fit, but not shoulder to shoulder. You'll have to go one single file through, so 5 feet wide. But you could easily get through, and it extends vertically for a large period of time. So, I would say that, I mean, there's a good at least 10 feet of clearance of height for you to squeeze by, so 5 foot wide, 10 clearance high. What was the roll there, Doma?
1 and a 3.
Jesus Christ, man. You look behind and you just can't find your own tracks. So you're under the impression that you guys just didn't. You guys avoided leaving your own signs.
I really don't want to go in here, but I'll go with whatever the group decides.
I mean, all I care about is, even if we're slightly separate, we're still close enough to hear each other. In case.
I'm going to cast alarm on the entrance of the cave if we decide to go inside, so we'll have plenty of heads up notice.
We can always collapse it behind us if something does come. There's no way out.
Or if
It's been
one of
one
us
of
is
the
at the opening of the cave and they start.
How have Kyle and I
Yeah,
been?
collapse it, don't worry.
Krizik, it's been a rough year, man. Our stepfather died, and Makoto passed away in August. So, yeah, it's been pretty rough this year.
But which
Fortunately,
any way opposite of where
Audrey,
we're
that's
coming
not
from.
going to help. You
That's
can't
what's
just
not
say
going to
go in
help.
that direction.
What I'm saying is, we can't go into some place we absolutely don't know what it is, and it's narrow. We really won't have any space. If
Says the guy who jumped into a magic portal before I could.
Do we really
I didn't jump in. I was the second to last person to jump in the portal.
That was right.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that was work. That was not work. That was
Quack's size at your guys is like infighting, and he just starts moving down the hallway on his own. He tries to fumble a torch out. He lights it, and you see this like little faint light as he starts stepping in there. As a loner, as he always has been, and never really been much in your guys' conversations, clearly this one's irritating him to a degree that he doesn't want to be here currently.
I'm going to, I guess, start following him.
Okay. So Haname's following behind Quack, and he's moved off into the cavern.
I'm going to stand in, like, just, I guess, the mouth of the cavern and have dancing lights ready.
Sure. So you have dancing lights, like 3 little lights floating around you. And as you like look down the cavern, Quack stops about 60 feet in, and then you see him like looking around, and he turns back towards you and he waves, and he starts making his way back to you.
What's wrong, Quack?
Big, empty inside. Lots room.
Lots of room, but no extra paths.
No, could keep going.
It opens up to a bigger thing.
Yes. Very
Are there
big.
Are there glowing mushrooms on the wall?
No, dark. Need light.
What
But
is this, Skyrim?
light here, torch works.
It's a beautiful puppet show that you can interact with.
Alright, well...
Don't like puppets.
Well, how far do you think you'd be willing to explore before the rest of us come in with you? Like, I'll stay nearby just in case something happens.
Quack's pretty fucked. I think someone else should go.
Why do you think you just said I would?
Okay.
A good place to rest temporarily. Not sure.
I'll go with you, Haname. I say bravely as I puffed out my chest.
You know what, I changed my mind.
Oh my god, you projected!
Projecting to a whole new degree.
You possibly part of our friend here.
Sure, yes, I guess you're friends with these individuals, and she, like, bows to a degree. And she'll, like, move up to Quack, who Quack, like, eyes her waringly, but then she, like, places her hand on him, and you see Quack's body as a
It's
light
all-
envelops over it. Alright, so Quack heals.
Thanks.
Quack heals 9 HP.
Yeah.
So several of these wounds he has kind of heal. One of the arrows actually is like forced out of his body. The other one's still kind of implanted in his chest, his
Can I
back.
pick up that arrow? And like,
Yeah. You've taken this arrow. It's fully functional. Yeah, it's an orc arrow, but it functions as a normal arrow. It's still intact. It still has its functionality. But you can clearly tell the difference between an orc arrow and like an elven arrow, or an arrow made by a different race. These are more crude in design, but they totally function the same.
in that case, could I also try to help Quack by like trying to remove the second arrow?
You just want more arrows.
I mean,
yes.
yes, you could, but you make a medicine check.
All right.
While he's doing that, I pull out a coat, like a piece of common
Okay, not one.
clothing
So
from my bag, and I give it to Neil and say, "You should probably remain better hidden than you are for now."
What'd you do?
you're giving Aniel a cloak.
Clothing, like some common clothing to kind of disguise herself.
No.
Well, the wig
I don't. There's not much I can. And she gestures to her large wings. Unless we have like a cloak to drape, I guess.
We have blankets we could make into one.
I got a tinkering set. Can I tinker like a cloak for her?
You could if you would like to spend the time to do it.
Well, let's go in.
I mean,
for
wherever you want to do it. You guys spend your time. If you want to spend your time on that, you can.
Well, I just don't think it's smart for us to be wandering around.
Oh, I don't. I'm not arguing your logic. I'm just saying
No, I
that.
know you're not. I'm just telling the groups because they think I'm stupid. So.
Stupid.
No, I just didn't understand what you'd said or what you'd given her.
I say you say stupid things. I never said you were stupid.
But I am.
Yeah, I am
stupid,
holding
so
up,
jokes
man.
on you.
It's been 2 months since his
So he
death.
proceeds to insult himself.
D&D is actually helping me distract myself. So I plan on streaming more often. Every Friday I'll be streaming this D&D game. It's been my main focus. It's been what's distracted me away. So.
Yeah, silence. Okay, all right.
Well, or if you think we should rest in here.
Well, let's go in a bit further and see. I'm gonna go ahead to what Quack saw and look.
So Quack helps guide you, and you kind of single filing behind him, and you come into a large open caravan. I mean, not caravan.
Caravan. Holy shit.
Crevasse. I'm sorry. It's a very big opening inside the encampment. You can see like the wall of the fissures. A little bit of light kind of bounces its way in, but doesn't get very deep before it just gets dark. But with the torch, Quack kind of goes in about another. It's only about 40 feet in where you finally. You go 40 feet in, you finally clear past the internal the wall of the mountain. You enter the actual internal cavern, and then from there it's just.
How big is that opening?
How does the floor and
So-
walls look in this place?
Let's just draw a quick line here.
We still have lots of doodles.
Yay. The cave is a perfect rectangle.
So with that in
I like
mind,
it.
this is 40 feet long, and the entirety of the entrance is 40 feet long, and it's about 10 feet high.
Okay, and 5 feet wide.
Yes, 5 feet wide.
Okay, then.
And then after you get 40 feet, it just the
entrance
wall
I
goes
cast-
light, the wall goes left, and it's just darkness out there.
I cast alarm there.
All right, so everyone goes in. Is that right? I didn't. Not everyone wanted to go inside. So currently, just for token usage to help us illustrate this, Quack has gone through.
I've gone through.
Anniel's currently up front because she's trying to do what you.
With Broderick.
Yeah.
I
I'm
went
going
through
to
to look.
block.
Oh, I need to change the music. Oh, sure.
So what do you?
Cast
What
a
are
block
the other
and
guys?
then you walk through. Smart move, or.
It's happened a few times already.
I said if everyone's inside.
All right, so who is anyone else going in there? Anniel will go where you guys decide to send her, kind of thing. If you want her to go in, she'll go in. If you want her to stay here, she'll stay here. It's your decision.
When they
It's a
come
good
back.
idea, she says.
Or motion.
What?
So you just.
No, what did you say? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
No, I'm saying like, did they say anything like motion like, hey, you know, it's clear or something like that?
Oh yeah, I mean, Quack clearly came back and told everyone that it's a clear opening in there, and then you guys
I
could.
didn't think he came back. I wouldn't have said that.
Oh no,
Yeah,
he definitely did.
Yeah.
That's why you guys were able to participate. So you guys know that there's a giant cavern in there that you could go into, and it's potentially safe to hide in there, and you guys could rest up and then re-adjourn or wherever you would like to elsewhere.
Well, Roderick was signed. Like, I guess in this situation we don't have much else choice.
No, we don't.
No, there's always choices. We could camp somewhere on the mountain, like out in the trees, or make our own shelter. I mean, we don't even have to stop here, right? We could keep moving.
It's too exposed with the orcs.
I mean, I would rather keep moving and then
They
set
know
a
where we
target.
are.
There's definitely options. I don't wish to decide where you guys go, but there's definitely options besides having to go in here.
I just don't understand why we're not moving still, I guess.
The sooner we make a decision would be better. I do agree.
Camp for a night. Camp
How
for
do
a
the walls
We
and
haven't even been.
We're supposed to-
I feel like.
So we'll go ahead and focus on inside. So you three inside
I'm
as you
not-
clear
I'm not
in.
feeling too hot. I guess that's kind of my point. Like, orc took a little bit of damage in that fight.
I have 21 out of 50 health.
So
I have 16 out of 36.
as you look around the interior of it, you three that are inside, which technically one's an NPC, as you kind of like walk around and just to the right seems to be like a I wouldn't say a cliff face, but like an edge of a wall where it doesn't really continue. But the left is the natural caravan inside the mountain, so you kind of like walk through there and you kind of follow along. You go about 60 feet and you see some stalactites on the ceiling, which the ceiling near you currently is down near your height level. You could, 20 feet up, but the more you go in, the higher and higher the ceiling goes, which kind of gives you the notion that this is a huge internal structure that goes on and on. If it cuts short here, it's potentially going to keep routing to deeper and deeper areas in the mountain range. So this could be quite a lengthy area to go through.
Do it.
Alright.
Which side did you say the cliff was?
That's the right. So if you're going left currently.
I want to
So-
look down the cliff and see what I
Okay,
see.
I didn't mean cliff like a fall. Like it's a sheer wall kind of blocking your way. So it's kind of rounded and then it's.
Oh,
Like, we're at the bottom of the cliff.
Yeah, I guess yeah, something like that. There's a wall here to the right, and the path kind of forces you left. Is what's happening.
do the walls and floor look man-made or?
Make a nature check.
Ooh.
Dwarf man.
Can I, like, help him? Or give him advantage?
I mean, you see him looking at it, so you could look yourself.
Okay.
I
you
got
didn't-
12.
All right.
Did it?
Wait, plus 2. Wait, plus nature?
It's a nature check.
For me,
plus
that
1.
would be...
So
15.
13.
Okay. So as you're looking around the area to the right, no, that feels like a naturally forming rock. But as you like look around the space, Haname, you do see signs of creature-made or man-made like shelling along the wall. Like it's too smooth at certain points, so it gives you kind of a notion that potentially there is potentially a civilization in here.
Well, maybe we found the way from the den.
Yay!
Oh my god, that would actually be interesting. So,
Oh, we did blow up a mountain. It's part of the Medan Mountains.
Doma,
Oh, what do you want?
some of these do seem, I guess, not natural. Like someone or something carved them.
You stupid, that rock.
No, Quack.
Damn it,
Like
Quack.
someone carved into the rock. Like there might be someone else.
Why carve rock? Rock, just rock.
Oh boy.
I'm
Because
gonna go out
unlike
and
you,
tell
some
the
people
crew.
live in the ground.
That dumb. Should fly. Up air. Good.
You can't fly either, Quack.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh,
Quack.
true point. Good.
You see that arrow in your arm, in your body? If
Yes?
you live underground, people can't shoot you with an arrow unless they come underground looking for you. If I was on the ground and you were in the air, I could still hit you.
Oh. You see, like, he's trying to, like, formulate what you're saying. It seems to be a little lost on him at the moment.
Just 5 minutes later. Oh! Anyway, I'm gonna tell the others that it looks like someone made parts of this cave.
Guys, I found evidence of either a civilization or a creature possibly having carved part of this cabin out. We may have stumbled into a civilization if we do proceed.
Could be Medan.
It could.
You never know. Well, we could either go in or remember this spot and come back a different time.
Well, hell's yeah, Oric says, let's go in.
The sigh is so perfect.
Alright, so, just to kind of help, you guys
Always
just
option 1 with you people.
make your vote, please. We have, if you're going to be not wanting to go in, please go left. If you want to go in, please move your token into the area. And that will help us kind of... As I've seen you guys debate these before, and it could turn into hours, so... this to try to help expedite the decision-making process. Please make your vote. Place your token where you'd like to be. Majority vote does decide there are odd number of you.
Yep.
Quack already wanted in there. It feels bad.
I mean, but he's just trying to do what he's trying to do. He's trying to find options. So him and Aniel's vote is null. They don't really matter. It's you 5. So Haname, Doma, Oric, place your tokens where you want to be. Rogic and Evelyn definitely do not want to go in there. They probably are claustrophobic slash paranoid of the dark.
Yeah, Windheim is dicked.
True.
We don't know that.
We have no idea what Windheim is. We were
Because
going
we're supposed to meet Rolina there.
Windheim's dicked.
Right.
Windheim's
And we've changed this once again.
Always option number 1.
God. Shiny?
I don't think we're gonna outrun all those orcs.
If we ever came back here, Laris, would we be able to find this again? By the giant crack in the mountain?
I mean, depends on how long it takes you. I mean, if you spend the rest of the campaign ignoring this and come back like 2 years later in your character's lives, it could have closed on itself, right? There's no guarantee. This is just something that's presented itself to you, whether it leads anywhere or not. It's up to you. I mean, it could be valuable to you now. It could not be valuable to you now. It's your choice, man. I mean,
couldn't decide, so I rolled a die, and the die said go.
okay, so there's 2 to go. 2 to go. Not Doma. You have the deciding factor.
God, I put it in the middle because I didn't want to do this.
Now you have to, man. So, I mean, I guess at this point, since you're having trouble, we could have our hour-long debate. So feel free to get to it, guys. I'll just kick my legs up while you start yelling at each other.
I thought I was in that position. So.
Oh, shit.
Just roll
Well,
it
please provide
The
your
setup
arguments and I'll
change.
decide.
Setup change. Oh, you mean like the way that stream's set up? Yeah, the stream has
Well,
changed.
find the facts.
Just because Makoto isn't here.
Our
I
goal
don't.
is to save Windheim, right? Why would we not explore the potential of re-establishing communication with an age-old ally?
Was Medan an ally?
Make a history check. I mean, you could have seen this. Yeah, it's possible. Make a history check. You're not going to be proficient in
You told
history.
us at one point, we did a history check, and at one point you told us it was.
Well, then argue to his case that it absolutely is.
God, why can't I roll anything today? I mean, it's worse than normal.
Rock says.
23
God.
history.
Yes, Medan was a very valuable ally to Windheim Kingdom. Staunch allies for years.
I mean, if they have an issue they're dealing with, and we can help them, I know it's been a long time, but there's a reason things were cut off, and if they're still there, and if they're...
Yeah, the stream was changed because Makoto's not here. And so, with Corgi Club being the focus, without a Corgi, it's misleading. But Kyle, he's doing okay. He's actually getting married at the end of the year.
Literally have
In about a month or so.
You just think
So he'll be moving out, actually. So a lot of changes for me this year,
Her decision
and
was-
changes for him.
Well, there you have it. We're not staying.
Did you actually say that in character? Because that
Oh, I was kidding.
you have to state whether you're saying that in character, because otherwise it will influence her decisions.
No, I'm not overtly gonna hit on you. It's gonna be bad.
Tell him the best bro said congrats. Yeah, I will.
Or
Like putting her hand on your mouth.
So,
Not me.
is this our final decisions here? Is this what's going on?
I don't know. I have no idea what happened. I just saw Hanami moved her tokens.
Doma and Haname have moved their tokens. Is this the vote? Haname and Doma, are you happy with this? This is the vote you're doing? I want to make sure. That's all.
I'm not happy about it. I want to explore it, but I don't want to die.
Dude, no matter where you go, there's threats. So,
Right.
Yeah.
do you think that a game of D&D is not going to have obstacles come in your way?
You have a point.
So, like here, just from like a game perspective, you go out in the
Don't
mountainside.
look
You're gonna have to deal.
around,
You're gonna
too.
probably deal with the threats that Orc talked about, the Orc army. And then if you go inside, then you're gonna potentially deal with things that live inside. I mean, I've heard some good arguments for in and out. You could get trapped in there. There could be a dead end, and then you have to fight your way through orcs. It could be allies in there. It could be very valuable to you. So
I'm gonna regret this.
I moved away from him because he, out of character, sounded like he was in character saying something. So.
okay. So then, now to confirm, so that way no one thinks I'm being biased. This is your final answer, correct?
I rolled an at one. We're going with my bad decision.
Okay, so I have that. Haname was a roll earlier, and Oric, I'm sure, wants to go. So Roderick and Evelyn, those three move in with the intention of exploring it. The NPCs will follow them. You two are allowed to make your own decision, though. I'm not trying to force you anywhere you don't want to go, but this is what the group has decided, and NPCs follow the majority vote.
I really do think, I mean, if we really want to help Windheim, it's a long shot just going there by ourselves. We're not going to turn it down before. But if we can secure favor of a nation that used to be our allies, I think, like, in all honesty, long term, it's potentially more beneficial. It's a long shot.
It's a super long shot. Like that's speaking in ifs.
Yeah,
Like percentages as in
right?
that we don't know.
God, does someone have that long shot
Evelyn
skill?
looks at Roderick, and in my staff, I cast light on my staff, and I just start walking towards.
Congrats, man.
Very solid.
I'm glad that you got a girl, if even for a little bit.
Please
Congratulations.
don't let this end up like
Okay, while we're in
the
here,
necklace
guys.
situation.
He's never gonna let that die. Oric will forever be remembered as the murderer of his own party.
No, I'm saying like I'm talking about like the actual like the rift going into fight through Khan in there from there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, guys,
Like
while we're
everybody jump in, it's like well.
make sure to not knock any buckets into the wells, because that turned out badly in the puppet show I watched.
All right, so you cast alarm. Are you guys
Lord of the Rings.
taking any other precautions with the entrance in any way, or are you just going to cast alarm on it?
I don't think I can.
I think, yeah, is there a way we can collapse this? 'Cause
No,
if there's a way we
no,
can
that's a
collapse
level 3.
It's definitely possible to collapse it. Absolutely possible. It's
I have shadow.
it's a fissure in the wall. It's like every now and then like a little pebble like falls through. It basically is like tension built in the mountain, and so if you blast part of it or some kind of volatile force, yeah, that thing could definitely just collapse down behind you.
Can I look for a weak point?
I mean, yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
If there's a stone, I can just throw a thunderstone.
7, 8. I got an 8.
An 8.
Guidance.
I mean, the entire thing itself. I mean, well, sturdy, and it's not going to just fall from a light tap. There's no like one point you see that's going to jostle the entire thing down. But you know, anything that does a wide vibration could definitely collapse it behind you. So like a fireball or a shatter or yeah, shatter would be great. Shatter would do amazing actually against it because it's even better against like.
Before you burn a
Do we
spell,
want to collapse this?
before you burn a spell, I rolled an 18 for perception. Is there anywhere I can trigger like a thunderstone that would have?
So you're aware that you used your thunderstone earlier and you'd have to do a long rest to recharge it.
We agreed that I didn't have to do that with thunderstones. Remember?
No, I thought we agreed that you did. What?
Anyway, he has two because we gave him one earlier. He has another one.
Smoke sticks. You said smoke stick and thunderstone I could cast over and over. It was the alchemical fire.
No, smoke stick definitely is not. I said I thought I was implying that you can find mundane objects to do it, so you don't need like vials to do it, but you need those objects, so you easily find them because they're such basic objects you run into.
So we still have to do it. Anyway,
So I will let you charge a thunderstone, but I will require you at minimum do a short rest to recharge it. At minimum.
He has one. He had two because we gave him the one.
They only last.
after
The
we
magic
got
only
him.
lasts in the object for 24 hours. When you give it back to him 24 hours later, the magic faded from the second one.
Yeah.
Like-
I'm just putting an alternative on the table if you don't want to burn a spell slot. I'm fine either way. I don't want you to use your spell slot if you don't have to.
Lara says I'm a senior now. Yeah,
Well,
nice
I mean,
man. So one more year and then college if you're going to college, which is pretty
It
cool.
could even buy us enough time for like a long rest.
Do we need long rest? Then he kind of coughs. I'm like, that doesn't look too good.
I'm just saying, like,
Is it really early too? What time is it still?
I mean, as we tracked away and we backtracked back, we're noon.
Oh well.
How much time has passed?
We could do a short rest if we're just missing.
I mean, yeah, we're not gonna take a long rest right now. That's ridiculous.
Well, let's just collapse this fucking thing if we're going in and doing shit.
Okay, I'm gonna cast alarm post like
After?
Shatter.
behind. So if we collapse it out here, I'm gonna cast alarm further inside.
Sure.
Alright. Do I need to roll anything to find the best spot to cast Shatter?
Just tell me where I'm along the point you're casting. That's all I need to know. And then we'll find out what happens.
Do it towards, as far, like, towards the end.
Yeah, so near the entrance to
I
that
want to make it look like it's somewhat, like, not
natural.
made. I want to make it look somewhat natural, I guess.
Yeah, so like it collapsed on its own. Because if you did it in the tunnel, it might not collapse the entirety of the tunnel, and then they would go, oh, look, there's a tunnel and there's a hole, and it doesn't look natural. Yeah, I gotcha. Alright, so then I just need you to roll the damage, because it's technically a saving throw from the object, which, it rolled on that one, so it's fucked. You can blast it. It rolls with disadvantage. The first roll was an 11, the second roll was a nat 1.
101, come on.
That's lucky.
So how much damage there, Evelyn? And what level shatter?
These are D8s, right?
Mm-hmm. So level 2 shatter, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then 3d8. As this huge cacophonous boom shoots off in front of you guys, you see like the ground start the ceiling really starts shaking violently, and loose pebbles start falling down. And then the area in front of you just collapses quickly, and you see this dust start pulling out towards you guys. Kawak kind of tries to shield his torch. Luckily, he's not directly in the direct line. Evelyn, you do see that this here actually continues falling towards you. The entire tunnel looks like it's collapsing behind you. You would attempt to black, but this would require you to do a dex saving throw, as your reflexes are just trying to make you jump before you get collapsed in. So please make a dex saving throw to prevent yourself. This is completely on her own. She went in here on her own. You can't help her. It's a dex saving throw.
3.
A 3?
Ouch.
Yep.
Oh boy. Okay. 7.
And I wouldn't have probably gone that far. I mean, I can cast Shatter at long enough range, but yeah.
Sure, but that is where you stood. So that's where your token. That was where your token was. That's where you casted it. I mean, all right, I'll lower the damage by 1 of the dice just because of that. Okay. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a rolled period. Okay. Well, I'm not trying to be mean to you. That's just where you stuck your token.
I just didn't. I didn't realize where my token was, and I didn't. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, fine. I'll just make it 1 dice.
I'm not stupid. I know I don't have to be on top of a shatter to cast it. So.
Okay, you take 8 bludgeoning damage as a bunch of stone falls down on top of you. Your legs are buried, but your torso is free, and you kind of like dig your way out of it, and the group kind of comes and helps clear you out. There's dust in your lungs or coughing, and you guys manage to dig her out. And as you look down, the fissure appears to be now just blocked in. There's very little light bouncing through. You guys have sealed yourself inside this crevasse.
Oh, joy. Well, it's time to start exploring.
Now, I will say that it is possible to dig yourself out. Definitely possible. It's not like the entire mountain came collapsing down. It's just a bunch of loose rock and stuff that was above collapsed inward. Potential more of the mountain came in, but not the entirety of it. You definitely could dig your way out. It just would take a large amount of time.
So, question, with short rests, do you restore any spells or no?
Nope, only certain classes get that feature. That would be like wizards with arcane recovery. I mean, technically, you could convert sorcery points to spell slots. Warlocks get it back. It's a unique feature for certain classes.
Okay.
Or if you had a really crazy good item. All right, so you guys are in here. There's 1 torchlight and 3 little floating orbs that are currently floating around Haname and Koak. Aniel casts light on her staff, and you guys now have light on Aniel's staff, producing 40 feet of light.
Evelyn cast light on her staff.
I did before we came in. But
Oh, okay. So now we have a shit ton of light. All right. So Aniel's not going to cast light then. So if we have three people with light. Quack extinguishes his torch, saving most of it. So I have Evelyn has light. I have Haname casting light. And Aniel will cast light on one of Doma's items. So Doma has light because he's probably going to be in the front.
Shield.
Alright, so your shield has light on it. Alright, so now you have a bunch of light. 2 of you in the middle. 2 in the middle or back, and then Doma in the front. Alright, so how would you guys like to proceed? You're currently at the front of this now collapsed caravan, tunnel, cave. There we go, that's the word I want.
So how far out does it go before it starts to curve?
Well, so as you look out into there's a general curve in front of you.
We're moving. Hey, the orcs exploded.
Serves them right.
Yeah, it's their fault we're in here. Clearly it was not bad decision making.
So there's a bend to the right, basically. And you're forced to go down it unless you want to go backwards the way you came, which no one says they're trying to dig. So I'm going to surmise that you guys want to move forward. After all, you committed here. So you start moving forward down here, and you start making a right bend, and then you find yourself... They're more like switchbacking left, right. There's not a terrible lot of straights. You do come to a...
keep an eye out for tool marks or whatever.
Make an investigation roll.
Hey, 20.
Okay, natural or not?
Unnatural.
All right. So as you guys clear past the bend here, you do find, and you notice this, you do see what appears to be 2 pillars that are half carved, half not. Which gives you the notion that effectively this area was a work in progress, never fully completed. They probably did a rough excavation at first, and they were starting to fine-tune it better. And the side that is more polished or more refined is the side that faces deeper into the caravan, or into the cave. So you assume that they were kind of working their way through it.
Hey guys, there's more signs of civilization up ahead. Look at those pillars and I'll point them out. Do they have anything on them as we get closer?
These ones do not have any symbols. It's just it's not where it's refined, where it's actually smooth. You just see that it's starting to that process against me. Yeah, they're kind of like yes, it's the initial estimates of the draft. They're gonna then refine it probably after a couple more weeks of what they were doing, sort of thing. So but you clearly can tell that this is not naturally occurring columns. They're too out in the middle. It doesn't. There definitely seems to be logic behind their positioning and then the way the rest of the cave kind of structured around it. That this is not natural. And you guys move in deeper. You do come into a fork in the road. Technically, it doesn't really matter where tokens are at the moment. Not really. This is just a quick illustration to kind of show you what it looks like. We're not actually using it as a battle map right now because I don't normally do that. So you do come into a fork in the road. There's a left, and there's straight.
Do either of them go up or down in elevation?
They both seem to have a slight gradient downward. It's very light, very light. So you're not sure if it's just alteration in the mountain or if it's actually designed that way.
Can I move my dancing light orbs, like split them up, or have like one on me and then put one down each path? And oh wait, no, they have to be within so far of each other, don't they?
No, they just have to be within so far of you. And you can maneuver them all you want. They're puppets.
Okay.
Is there a breeze coming from either?
A breeze. Yes, there is air moving towards you. You can make a perception check to try to deduce which direction it's coming from.
That's 12 plus perception plus 14. Would I be able to borrow a torch from Quack? And
he's already extinguished it, but you can ask him if you'd like. Because apparently he doesn't just read your mind. Why?
The torch, can I borrow it?
Why?
To see which way the twins come from.
He stops for a moment, closes his eyes. You see him lick his finger. Coming straight. Left side not as current. You create up to 4 torch-sized lights within range, making them appear as torches, lanterns, or glowing orbs that hover in the air for the duration. You can also combine the 4 lights into one glowing, vaguely humanoid form of medium size. Whichever form you choose, each light sheds dim light for a 10-foot radius. As a bonus action turn, you can move the lights up to 60 feet to a new spot within range. A light must be within 20 feet of another light created. Oh, you're right. By this spell, and a light winks out if it exceeds the spell's range. So you can go 120 feet forward, but they must be within 20 feet of each other.
Okay, in that case, I would like to morph them into a single light.
Okay.
And then send it down the straight path, just to see if we can see how it goes.
Alright, so you send it down 60 feet. Doesn't seem to run in anything. You move it a little bit further, another 20 feet. Still, it's getting smaller, but seems to be primarily a straight. And then you finally see when it gets to about the 100-foot range, it feels like it seems that there's a wall in front of it. So there does appear to be a wall down there. You can't tell from your current vantage point if it's a dead end or not, unfortunately. You'd have to get closer. But you can tell there's a surface in front of it, impeding it from going further down, about 100 feet down the corridor.
What do you want to do, guys? This is an one-man campaign.
Alright, well, I'm going to pull it back and then do the same down the other path.
Notice as you move it down to the left path, you see the left path only goes 50 feet before it bends right.
So what do you want to do, guys?
Always go left. My grandpa says.
To the left, to the left.
That sounds like a goblin I know. How about you, Evelyn? Always go right, right?
Yeah,
Because right's the
Anyways,
right answer.
so we have a couple people nominating to go left, and what do you guys want to do?
I can't tell if the straight path is a dead end or not.
Which path you said had less air? Or Quack said?
Quack said the straight path has a stronger current than the left side.
can I go straight?
Yeah, straight sounds like a better choice with a stronger current.
Yeah, I'll continue.
That's usually to get out and not go deeper.
But we're trying to find civilization, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean.
Well, it might also lead to a bigger
I
cave.
guess.
The more air usually means there's more heat, or
We need
it
to find
opens
something
up bigger.
Yeah.
Well, let's go fucking straight then. Straight.
Alright, so you guys go straight. As you...
I love how in that mansion we magically found by going random directions. This reminds me of that.
Alright, so you move straight, and you're going past 100 feet when you find that surface that your light's going to get to. The right side of this causeway, as you go about 60 feet down, you start seeing the surface through dark visions and light.
Guys, as we move forward, I point out, if this really is Madame, and Madame really has secluded itself over, the last however long, or if it's been taken over by someone, like, we should proceed really carefully and just keep an eye out for traps.
Yeah.
For a
Yes.
second, I thought something stupid was about to come out of your mouth.
Oh, that's pretty harsh there.
Also,
Am I wrong there, Rock?
I'm hungry.
What is hunger?
Not as stupid as girl who think rocks made by people.
I told you I didn't say the rocks were made. I said the carving.
Oh, fly bad cause can shoot! He seems to have finally dawned on the moment of what you said.
Do you have any good berries?
I can make
I thought you had no magic.
no magic to cast quiet, but good berries, yes.
Yeah, I think some of us here could use some good berries.
Okay. You see him kind of, this like greenish energy kind of goes around his fingertips and then collects 8 little berries in his palm of his hands, and he hands one out to each of all of you, and he keeps
Thank you,
2
Quack.
for himself.
I pop it in my mouth. Thanks, buddy.
You
Yeah.
eat the berry, it's very sweet. Whoever eats their berry heals 1 HP.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Big numbers!
It's all that.
I'm back to my old max HP.
Hey, that 1 HP makes a difference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's more about the calories than the HP.
Right now we're not
Yeah.
for 24 hours.
Alright, so you guys eat berries, the sweet flavor going across your tongue, giving you some extra vigor to continue your fray into the dark of the mountain.
What did he just cast?
Good berry.
Berry.
Good berries is actually a thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a druid-based spell. Rangers can also get it. It spawns 8 berries, which you can use as an action to eat one, and it heals you 1 HP.
It's actually more about the food than it is the
Yeah, it's a stand-in, it's a stand-in for.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe I've never seen this spell before.
So, you guys keep moving forward. You go past, and you finally find that where your dancing lights got blocked, and there's this giant surface stone structure. But as you look at this flat wall, you clearly see that there are 2 columns that are well defined, well carved, well polished, and there seems to be writing along the wall on these pillars. And in front of this flat stone wall, just appears to be a very smooth, black-looking stone. Those of you that are proficient in nature can go ahead and roll a nature check.
Are we standing behind a large lake or in front of it? Because I feel like there's a crack in it. Large door made by dwarves.
Oh my gosh.
9.
9, you don't seem to recognize this. You don't really draw the conclusion.
You have to be proficient.
You have to be proficient in nature to be able to make this roll.
Damn. Talk to me when it's about religion.
24?
24.
Shit.
This stone is some kind of obsidian, and you don't really recall it being belonging in this area. You seem to be not in an area where there should be lots of lava, and so a large amount of obsidian here definitely is not natural.
This is dragon glass. This will kill the dead walkers.
Oh god.
Oh yes.
Wrong.
Anyway, what language is the writing?
Can I-
Can I tell?
Can I?
So Roger can read it because of his fucking patronage. So what languages do you speak though, Doma?
I speak. Well, technically we removed one, but I actually just know that naturally when I fill it out. So are we still removing that one?
I don't know what you're talking about. So what languages do you speak?
Oh, then I know Common and Infernal.
Okay.
Ooh, wait. There's
It's-
language?
It's in Dwarvish, isn't it?
You
No
wouldn't
way.
know what language it is. You just read it, sir.
Well,
Unless it's one of the languages you read, so you can.
Say.
No,
I got Common, Elvish, Celestial, Primordial, and Dwarvish.
It is Dwarvish. So you recognize it without even your heritage necessary. This is Dwarf. So as you
This
guys,
is Dwarvish.
so as you like kind of like step down, you can rub your hands against it. There's a thick like coating of dust or like soot kind of baked onto it, and you like wipe your hand away, and you realize that this has probably been.
Prestidigitation on it.
All right, you clean up a lot of it. You clean it off your hand, and but surmising this has been unused for a very long time. And it basically describes go forward or going forward will lead you to the heart, but this is not the path you should be going. Turn around.
Well, it says not to go. I say we go.
Oh wow, this is a little cryptic. It says going forward will lead you to the heart, but it's not the path you should be going. Turn around.
Well, should we go see if there's a door at the end of the other tunnel?
Yes, we should definitely turn around. I wonder what they mean by the heart.
Okay, let's go check it out.
For all we know, it's just one huge beating heart. No more.
So as you kind of walk back the way you came, this 100-foot long hallway, you make your way back to the fork in the road, and now there's a right for you or straight. And it sounds like you guys want to make a right, so you hug the right and you go around the corridor. And
Left. Right?
well, it was a left originally, but you're coming
Now
backwards,
right.
so it's a right now.
Yeah.
So you make your way down there, and you see some kind of shadow along the wall, like light bouncing into something. And you see some white, like bone, slightly. When an animal is deceased, looks like it's been decayed or gone for a long period of time. So you guys like roam up, we get within a good visual distance of it. You noticed a purplish splotch on the ground.
I'd like to investigate it.
Okay,
I'm gonna try to investigate it as well.
go ahead.
Oh boy.
Hey, 16, 17, 18! I know. Maybe it's turning around for me here.
That, for me, it is 12.
Okay. So 18, buddy. This is.
We said an investigation check.
It was they've nominated for it. I don't always make my checks globally for the entire group. You kind of have to like. This is what my character would do, right? So.
No, I understand. I see it. I'm gonna investigate too. I just
All right, so you kind of crouch down with these three. Haname doesn't seem to really get it, but you can roll now. I can let
Roger,
you
take
jump.
a step back. Take a couple steps back.
I don't want it to explode on me.
Yeah, but-
Oric, what do you? Can you roll, please?
18.
18. Okay, same.
Caught me,
So,
man.
as you guys look over the bones and you look over the this like purple like slut spot, you notice that there's like burn marks along the bone. Some kind of like caustic fluid has been dissolving in it. The purple blotch kind of reaches a moment in your head where you kind of recall potential of a creature that traps its prey and digests it slowly.
I'd like to look at the ceiling.
You look up at the ceiling and there's just darkness. Not the ceiling's too far above you now for you to see it. You don't hear dripping. You don't see like the fluid falling down on you.
Okay, it's not a predator. It's not an alien. We got this.
I was going to say, can I use my dancing lights and like lift it into the air to check the ceiling?
Yeah, you can move it 120-ish feet and see how high the ceiling goes, and it's about the ceiling's roughly around 70 feet in the air currently, so you get a good gauge that it's about 70 feet clear.
It's 10 feet out of my fucking vision.
Yeah, it's barely out of there, but you guys are that deep where it's out of your range now.
Wait, your spells have to be within how many feet of you?
120.
His dancing lights does.
Right.
You can also make it look like a person.
No, I get it. So that reaches the ceiling, though, right?
It does.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So like you see a whole bunch of stalagmites and a little bit of shadows bouncing off of these like triangular shaped cones on the ceiling. There does not appear to be any entity up there. You don't see anything like staring back down at you.
Creature was this bony thing.
Nature check for you and a nature check for Oric.
A lot of nature checking.
Wow. I just got freaking. Yep.
14.
You don't know Oric. You're not sure if this is new or fresh. You got it's probably a residue from something. You don't know if it's related to the creature or not.
I want to scoop some up in a vial.
Okay, yeah, you pull out one of your like remaining 26 vials, wherever the fuck it is, and you grab a little bit of it. It's barely anything. It's like we're talking. I mean, like the size of a, I don't know, like less than a milliliter of fluid is what you're able to grab. It's more gelatinous. It's very viscous. It's very viscous. You manage to get a little bit.
It's like a crusty booger, basically.
No, it's not crusty. It's definitely still has water retention. There's no dryness to it. It's like Jello is the best way I could describe it. Okay. Anyways, you rolled a 14. You were doing the creature beforehand. To look over the bones, you can't quite tell. You do know that it was some kind of two-legged creature, but the legs are very poorly defined. So that makes you believe that it probably didn't actually use its legs. Its arms are very long, so you believe it probably flew.
Is this a lot of mind flayer?
It doesn't look humanoid. Mind flayers are definitely humanoid. It looks like it's kind of like in the realm of a beast or an aberration or a monstrosity. There doesn't appear to be appendages that involve
But it doesn't have wings or anything like that?
There's only bone. There's no organic left for you to infer, so you just have to kind of study the bones and assume. And so you feel like the creature you're looking at didn't use legs. Its bones and its leg are too small, too thin. Well, it has a really large arm span, so it's probably a creature that flew.
Just gonna look really confused at these bones. This creature makes no bloody sense.
Nothing about the cave really seems to make
Makes sense. Okay, well anyway, how's further down the cave looking? I get up and start wandering my way down.
So you start moving down there. You want further down? Alright, go ahead and make a perception roll to see if you see any traps. The guy that asked to do it, not everyone.
I mean, I suggested it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, alright, okay.
16.
You see no traps. Nothing's giving the vibe of a trap-like entity anywhere. Seems all like natural. Probably, if you're gonna do anything, it's probably gonna be related to creatures that just live in this environment somehow.
I rolled a 22 on that.
You don't see any traps. That's what I can tell you. So you move forward. With that in mind, make perception checks as you guys go deeper and deeper into this cave.
Another one.
I'm slowly counting up here. slowly counting up.
16.
17.
20.
As you enter a room full of chests, but hear a slight breathing sound.
So you enter a circular room, and I know we have an Act 20. We got a whole bunch of high rolls, actually.
We see everything.
You see several more of these piles of bones.
So apparently we have a stone telling us about a hut, or we continue the path of skeleton. Great.
I laugh if we go down the other path and there's like 6 more of our people would have faced one on this path.
Okay, that's a crappy illustration, but you see several piles of these former entities that seem to have eventually...
Are they the same kind of creature?
Do you see any other kind of creature? Well, so your natural 20, is that right, Roderick? You're the one that got it?
No, I don't know.
Oh, Doma got it. Roderick. Alright, so there's 2 of you that have 2 of your 20s and only 1 natural 20, right? Which is Doma?
Yep.
Alright, Doma. Roderick. Far back of the cave, which, I mean, gosh, I don't think you could actually see that far, but...
Never
We'll
mind.
just say the dancing light helps you. You see a large puddle along the ground of some kind of liquid near the back. Currently way back there.
Oh, goody, oh my.
Is this like a freaking ooze or something?
Giant slime monster. Fire! Fire! I want more. Shut up.
So, what should we do?
You do hear a couple drips of something falling from the ceiling and landing that puddle down there. So, bloop.
Am I within range to move my dancing lights up to see if we can see what it is?
I mean, towards the ceiling. First of all, you move your lights up as high as they can get to see how vaulted this ceiling is. This ceiling's a little bit taller. It's more in the 80-foot range to get to the actual ceiling here. And then you can kind of scoot forward. You'll have to move approximately somewhere around here to here. More or less in that area to basically be able to get that light over the bowl.
In that case, I'm going to do that.
Does anyone else want to move themselves?
God.
This is your opportunity to do it, and if something goes wrong, this is your opportunity to position yourself accordingly.
Oh, by the way, do the bones look the same?
We're at a point where we're already kind of doing something, so you wouldn't be able to know yet. You have to wait to see if something happens or not after
He was
this
asking
action.
that at the very beginning.
Yeah, when we entered the room.
You'd have to go study the bones.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they're bones. You know they're bones. You know they're creatures, but you would have to actually go, do I recognize this kind of entity, right? Of which Hanane has taken action. So Hanane moves forward, and we got ourselves in relative position.
Assuming.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
Alright, so, as you move the light orb over, and you like kind of float it up along the ceiling, this appears that you're seeing what looks like clear liquid forming on the stalagmites and just dripping down. There doesn't seem to be any kind of entity snatched to the roof or something up there that's feasting on something. It just appears to be condensation that's forming on stalagmites a good 80 feet in the air, and it's dripping, and it's landing in this puddle or whatever this is. Good night!
Oh, it's time to throw
Sorry,
a
I'm
rock
not
in
talking
the
too
puddle.
much. Game and all, so. What are you doing at the...
Throwing a rock in a puddle?
You're
I'm throwing the rock in the puddle.
Your rock does not make it. It's too far away.
I can't throw a rock that far.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Jeez, I have small arms.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 16 times 5. That's like a 70 feet of throwing. I mean, I guess it's possible. It's possible, I guess. Go ahead and make an athletics check. And what was that question, Danelle?
The rest is just like these other things on the field. They're just like the stalag.
The brown things are bones. There's several dead carcasses, but they're not. There's no organic matter on them. It's just bones that seems to be in this area.
Make that 17 because I have +6 apparently.
Okay. It gets close, but doesn't actually bounce its way into it. Kind of falls short a little bit.
I have to roll a nat 20.
No, another roll nat 20. It's just that you'd have to get closer or throw it better.
Well, I could easily throw it better because I rolled a shitty number. How many rocks do I have to try this with?
As many as you guys have patience for.
Robert will tap him on the shoulder. It's like, here, you got it, man. I give him guidance once more.
Alright, you have guidance
Every
now.
turn to his spot.
Oh my
Oh
god.
boy.
Ouch.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I
Use
mean, I was gonna suggest if someone had an arrow, I could cast light on it, and you could shoot it.
I mean, I do.
Well, then I pull out my crossbow, cast a little light on me,
Alright.
shine a little light in my life,
So she
I'll put
casts
light on it.
light on the bolt.
and I shoot it in the water.
Alright, so you may make an attack roll at this puddle way far away.
Or even the edge of it.
16 plus 4 plus whatever my modifier is, so that's above
Alright,
20.
that hits. As it strikes that puddle, you see the arrow kind of sink in and it kind of floats into that fluid. The light clearly bounces off as the arrow sinks into this fluid, and you see this vibrant, like, purplish pink kind of like illuminating, like a disco ball from that distance as you now are seeing this pink light kind of bouncing off on the wall. You can see the skeletal creature, whatever was once there, kind of sitting in this puddle. Can you roll damage for me?
Oh god.
Oh no.
What the fuck is that? 1d8 plus something. No, 1d10 plus something. What would I plus onto this?
It's Dex. It's Dex.
Alright.
Your accuracy
Check
determines
my
your ability to
Dex.
do damage with fucking Dex. I mean, ranged weapons.
Alright, dex is only +1. Make that 10. Max damage. I'm sorry.
Alright,
I feel like
so
this
10
box-
damage? Alright, so as you strike this puddle, and you see it kind of like vibrate. And it starts quickly moving towards the center mass as it starts building up a form and shaping into a large creature. And the creature, you see one giant floating yellowish white eye appear, and then a second one. And then you see the slime kind of spread out a giant smile. And it sees new prey has entered its den.
It's a flan.
Do I recognize this thing?
I said to shoot by it, not in it.
Oh, I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
That's all good.
I don't know what a flan
I
is.
was-
Alright, so please
Fantasy
roll
for-
initiative. Thank you.
I'm on that 20. Let me get one.
I'll take that 15.
4, even better.
No way.
Oh,
Holy
no.
shit.
I fell into the
Trying
DM
to
box.
sneak it.
Owl's lost forever.
I'm down.
Forever lost. Forever lost.
Alright, so first person to go. Oh, I have to roll for Aniel. And Quack now, because love of God.
Why?
What's
Aniel's
Dex?
Hey, don't judge me.
Judging intensive.
Oh God, Quack did not do good. Holy shit.
Oh no.
Sometimes he doesn't feel like, fighting. He just wants
No.
to, relax.
I just want to
Walk.
be a lover, not a fighter. It's all good.
Walks
Yeah.
Alright,
Mini
so...
boss is taking a break.
Okay, so Auric, you go first. This thing forms in this giant slime. It's huge in size.
Do I
I'm gonna get a
recognize this
hug.
creature?
Dang it, Domi, you took the question out of my mouth, man.
He needs a hug.
Well, it's your turn, so I don't get the question, you do. Ask it.
No. It's
I don't know,
Walk's
Sid,
turn.
you're definitely way before me.
I was sorry, I was on mute. Is there anything worth note, like between us and him?
There's bowls in the ground, like damaged, concave inward like portions, but no, nothing that you could like hide behind or anything.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out a crossbow bolt and I'm gonna try and shoot.
Okay, roll.
Okay.
Alright, he is 100 feet away. You're using was your crossbow light or heavy?
It's a lie. Yeah.
What is
I think you have to roll with disadvantage. I think you're past the range.
Yeah, I missed.
Okay, so the crossbow, and then you see it strike into the ground. The bolt potentially shattering. Alright,
So, question: do we have metal or wood bolts and arrows?
I'm gonna guess the tips are metal.
some can be metal, some can be wood. It varies. Most of them are probably wood.
He wants to heat them.
Yep.
Alright, technically it's the angel's turn. Annual.
I believe in you, Daniel.
Please don't go out there.
Okay, sure. I'll stay here. She'll just take like a couple steps forward, stand behind the line, and start casting a yellowish white orb in her hand. Looks familiar. You guys have seen her do this before, recently, earlier today. But she's gonna wait for it to get closer. She's holding her action. That's her turn. Doma.
Oh god.
You should totally go melee this thing.
This thing's an acid type monster. What do you want me to do, sir?
That's not what I want you to do. You're in this predicament.
No. I'm talking to Mr. Lash and Smash here. Thinking he's fucking special.
How
The
about you
question
melee?
is, can I cast Branding Smite on a bolt?
Ooh.
No, I mean you mean the smite where you convert your spell slots into damage. Branding smite, maybe. Let me read it. That could. It might require a melee attack though. We'll find out. Branding smite. That's BL. Burning hands. It's got to be before that. Blur.
Your next hit with a weapon attack.
Next time you hit a creature with a weapon attack before the spell ends, the weapon gleams astral radiance. The deal does 2d6 radiant damage to the target, which becomes visible and if it's invisible. Target sheds dim light for 5-foot radius and can't become invisible. It would work.
Alright, I'm gonna charge up a bolt and shoot it.
Do you want to cast this first?
Yes, that's why I said charge up the bolt.
Okay, well, technically you would want to say, I'm casting the spell. Technically,
Okay.
because I mean, because you could say I'm charging up an attack. I'm winding up. You're like, it's not specific.
Kamehameha.
All right, so you cast the spell. So lose the spell slot. Of what level are you casting it at?
It hurts because it's level 2.
So second level. Okay, and you can fire the shot.
No, I mean,
Now,
it hurts because I can only cast it at level 2.
so with that in mind, you are 100-ish feet away. Are you using a heavy crossbow or light?
I don't have a light, I have a heavy.
Alright, so you should be in range. Alright, so just roll 1d20 and see if you hit. Add your dex.
Fucking, what's my dex again?
+1, I think.
Is it +1? Dex, yeah, it's +1, so that would be
Are you
12.
proficient though?
He should be. He's
In
proficient with
what,
all
dexterity?
weapons. So
Yeah,
he would
I'm
add,
proficient.
add 3 to
So
it.
yeah, perfect.
So 16. That hits. Roll damage.
Okay, so I get 2d6? Was it?
Does it
Look at this
add?
one.
It adds. The attack deals an extra 2d6 radiant damage to the target.
Extra, okay.
So roll your normal damage and then add 2d6. Since you're using heavy,
Okay,
it's
so
a d10. Yep. And then plus your 1 for dex damage. So you did a grand total of 19 damage to it.
That's 20 plus the 1.
Oh yeah, 20. So 20 damage hit.
Dang,
As this giant like slime-based
Fucking
creature, this air like impedes itself
lights up
into
the
it,
room.
and you see this more light coming out of it, but now more of a yellowish color, and you're seeing these bubbles starting to form on the interior of the creature. It still has this giant like gaping smile as it's moving towards you guys, but done something to it.
It glows now, guys. You're welcome.
You did a thing.
I did do a thing.
Okay.
Thanks for losing.
Next up is Evelyn Zastira.
Alright.
Do another thing.
Chromatic orb, level 1 with lightning damage.
Ooh.
Zap that slime.
Okay. Roll.
Zippity zap zap.
Oh, I'm not gonna roll all that. 5, 7. I don't know.
Took a 16 to hit it from mine.
Yeah, 12, probably maybe not.
Does 12 hit it, Paris?
12. Give me a second. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. No, it probably still does. Yes, it absolutely does.
Oh god, what the hell is its AC?
It's an ooze.
Alright.
Look how
I feel like it's
huge
gonna
it is. Tell me if it's hard to hit a creature of that size.
And it's just goo. It's not like it's actually blocking anything.
I'm gonna reroll 2 of these. For 1 sorcery.
Alright.
Sorcery boy. How many of those things do you have?
A lot.
I believe in you, Al.
I have 6 now. That's
Ouch.
getting better. It's 10.
Alright, so 10 lightning damage.
Yeah.
Alright, so as you see the lightning strike
Stop it.
into it, which hits it, you see the current kind of travel through its body, but you don't see any effect to seem to have taken place upon it.
Someone set this thing on fire.
You get the notion that it's probably immune to lightning
So
damage.
lightning did not do anything. Alright,
Right.
good enough.
It could be other things too.
I had to find out. I had to find out.
You're all good. All good. Alright. Next now would be Quack. It's probably faster than Haname. Quack. And
Yep.
come over to this position. Actually, no, he won't get too close to you. I'm on fire. 2 arrows. Natural 2 and natural 3. Quack is not MVP this game. Wait, totally miss. Actually, no, they would still hit. They would still hit. That's because this thing has such bad AC. Oh my god.
That's gonna sting.
Only natural ones are gonna miss, basically. So these 2 arrows into the creature.
I don't know what to say.
And so you see
This
these
thing must have a
these
lot
2
of
arrows
health.
enter into it, and then you also notice from all the extra light you have on it, even the arrow you lit before, and the 2 arrows, the 2 bolts are in it. You see that they're starting to dissolve inside his body.
Won't stop my glow, you son of a bitch. It will
All right, so damage. He actually gets to do damage at 5 plus 7, 12 plus his 3rd shot, which is another 3. It's 15 plus his 8 dex is 23 damage.
Sadly, because I used that, I sacrificed my Misty Step.
All right, so these 2 hits into the slime, and the slime. You see parts of it starting to falling down to the ground from the strikes. All right, Quack's turn done, and now it's Haname's turn.
Well, since it's stopping the glow, I'm going to cast Fairy Fire on it.
We can't miss. Why are you doing this?
All right,
So that way we can still see it.
okay, fairy fire. Go
Oh,
ahead.
my glow won't fade.
So are you within
The
120?
arrow's gone.
Are you within 120 feet? Yes, you
Yeah.
are. All right, so dex saving throw.
My glow won't disappear even if the arrow's gone.
It's gonna fail. It's gonna fail. It's so bad. All right, so this big plume of purplish pink light erupts in the area, and this thing just is like a giant smiling
Beat
Christmas tree. I mean, it's super easy to see. It's shedding tons of light. You can definitely see it. If it wasn't a disco ball before, it is definitely a disco ball now. In fact,
Fairy fire.
do I still have that?
Oh god, is he making a disco ball one? If he actually has it.
Yes!
Yes! That is our boss.
Can we just say my Fairy Fire is constantly changing color? Please.
This makes me really happy.
The best.
Can we get some music too?
It's playing music.
It is playing music, but it's gonna get very annoying if we don't turn it off. So.
Oh my god, I love this. It's not glowing. Glow.
Give us like 2 or 3 turns with it.
Alright. I'll turn off the other music for the time being. But as soon as it gets annoying, that's going off.
Yeah.
Alright, so we have this giant disco ball of an ooze. Alright. Haname, do you want to move?
Yes, I'm going to move away.
Alright, anything with your bonus action, or are you done?
I heard the music. I don't really have any bonus actions.
You do, you have Bardic Inspiration.
I said that I wish to use.
Okay, so your turn ends, and now it's its turn.
So you want to inspire someone? Wow.
Oh god, I haven't been adding +2 damage to a lot of my things because of my fighting style.
I keep forgetting I can heal myself by hitting shit. I should have healed myself 1 point. I'm up to 30.
Alright, so it moves there, and then it moves and it dashes.
Fucking the slow ass enemy.
Yeah.
We just gotta back up as we fight.
Pretty much.
Okay, so it moves closer, this giant light illuminating the environment. You guys get the urge to dance for some reason. And now its turn's over. Roderick, you're up. Okay, Quack's up here twice. I was not supposed to go twice. My bad. Yes, Roderick, you're up.
Oh man, I was prepared.
I accidentally made Quack go before he was supposed to. He's actually bottom initiative.
Okay.
Alright, let's see. People, let's see. What to you?
Roderick's actually dancing right now.
That's bullshit.
You mean Auroch?
Yes, both of them are.
Should I do something with this theme? Because I think we could possibly do
Oh
it.
yeah, add to the theme, man.
I'm not sure it'll work at the same time, but I think
Oh,
it's
do it. It's slow as
Alright. Well, I shall cast.
Oh my god, I didn't read all its rules. I'm so bad. Oh jeez.
What?
I forgot to do something when it got hit by something. Oh, anyways.
Hilarious.
Alright, Roderick, go ahead.
Just do it.
No, I'm waiting for Roderick to go his turn.
Okay, go.
Yeah. Nah, screw that. I'm gonna hit it with
Classic move.
Void Flame.
Void
Throw.
Flame. Alright, so Void Flame, it needs to be within 60 feet. 1,
God, it's
2,
gonna
3,
become
4,
brighter.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
It's gonna
11.
become so bright.
It looks like it's
Fucking
just out of the range on it.
Oh no.
Take a step forward.
You'd have to move up, yeah.
You can move back when you're
Step
done.
forward.
Go
Alright,
back.
now it makes a dex saving throw with its -3 dex. Yeah, it's got a -1, so it's getting hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
This is beautiful.
Poor
Best
Slam.
fight ever.
Poor Slam.
8.
Can't
8.
control yourself
All right.
any longer.
And Rock shall take a couple of steps
Okay,
forward.
so at this point, after it takes that much damage, the creature begins to violently shake, and it's the smiling expression it had originally has now turned into one of sadness, as if it's like it's struggling to keep itself together, and this bubbling just keeps getting more and more violent, and the beautiful disco ball that it is, it seems to be not enjoying the fray. Technically it'd be Quack's turn now, who would fire his 2 arrows into it. Quack's turn's done. Auric, you're up.
We're making the disco ball sad.
Oh my god.
I don't think I've ever been happier in my life.
To make a slime sad. I don't even know what it
We
is.
can't hear you, Auric. You're muted.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. I said I'd do a little jig over here. I even like made my character dance a little bit.
Uh-huh.
He just moonwalks his way 30 feet.
I have moonwalk all 30 feet, like a boss.
And you hit a divot and fall.
And, and I'm gonna toss an alchemical fire at this thing.
Okay, dex saving throw right?
Burn.
Yeah, it rolls a 7, so it takes the fire damage. It's a 2d6, right? Or is it upgraded now because you're new high level? I don't know when it upgrades for you. I have to look.
Let's double check.
For fuck's sake, this is so gross. We're throwing everything Dex related at this thing, and it just doesn't have any.
Oh, it's a fucking slime, man. All right, it's slow. It's supposed to catch its prey off guard, and it was off in a corner, and you guys shot it. and ridiculously far away because you're fucking natural 20, son of a bitch.
Mid level, it's 3d6, so it's still 3d6. It upgrades next level.
Alright, 3d6.
Poor Laris, we found his trap.
9 damage. Alright, so that violin continues. You see it's like part of Severe falling to the ground. Its face is definitely upset. It doesn't realize you're under the impression that it's aware that it's probably not going to eat any one of you, which doesn't make it happy. Anything else, or?
I feel bad for this slime.
Wait, question.
Oh, don't feel bad for my mobs, okay?
No. Question. Does anyone have animal handling? Does anyone have animal handling? Can we make this thing hard?
So, Auric, your turn's done, yes?
I'm just gonna continue to dance.
Sure, alright, so Aniel's technically not in range. She's gonna scoot to the side here. And now she'll fire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, it's now in range. She's gonna make it do a Dex savings throw.
God.
It fucking passed!
I never thought
What?
Enemy mob.
It's got a -3, goddammit! Hold on, let me double check. I think I might be forgetting her spell DC. 1 second. Where's her fucking form?
Laris is just so done that his own mom passed it.
Okay, no, I'm wrong. She has a higher DC. Okay. No, she doesn't have a higher DC. It passed! Fucking son of a bitch! By 1. She just barely missed it.
It fucking one bubble like erupted and it just went through it.
Man, so I rolled an 18.
Rolled a natty 19.
And no, I rolled an 18, which means it had a 15, beats the 15 DC. So, pew, this orb hits the ground, doesn't do anything. Okay. That's what she's supposed to have, right? Am I doing this wrong? No, she's not supposed to have that high of a proficiency. Okay, well, I'm gonna look at this later. Anyway, so she misses. Alright, let's go back to the next person. Technically it's Doma's turn.
Hey, it's me. God, I don't have much to do for ranged. You know what? I'm gonna... Why don't I shoot it?
Okay. Cursor dance party.
I missed. No,
Okay.
4. That hits.
4 hits. It's only got a 7 AC. Everything hits besides on that 1.
8 damage.
Alright.
I have a decent chance of missing it.
Okay, anyone else? That's it? Turn's done? Yeah, that's it. Alright, we're gonna go to Evelyn.
Hi, I'm going to.
Vicious mockery, like, is he getting debuffed by us dancing in front of him?
No. It seems to be struggling more with the fact that it's dying rather than you're dancing.
Okay, just making sure.
Chromatic orb with fire.
Okay. Roll the hit, which is probably gonna hit it.
Yeah.
Yes, it will. Alright, damage, do it. Dun, 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 dun.
6. Oh my
Sweet.
god.
God, you're not rolling too well.
All that, I'm just gonna leave it.
Alright, 6 damage. Which is enough. Alright, so, as you fire hits the creature, the disco seems to decrease as the light seems to start fading from it, but its body violently shaking. And there's the horror look on its face as it's trying to keep itself together. And it explodes. And slime goes flying all over the room. I need all of you to make Dex saving throws.
Oh, damn. 19.
11.
Dex saving throws?
Dex saving throws. Please record your results in chat.
Yeah.
A lot of 20s.
Alright, so I have a 13 on Evelyn, 11 on Lash, 19 Doma, Petite on Nat 20, and then Castle on Nat. Okay, so only... where are you? Okay, so only Lash and Smash failed. Everyone else takes half damage.
Damn, Lash and Smash.
4, 1, 6, 10. It's 10 acidic damage done to those that failed, half, 5 to those that passed. As you kind of like cover your face and you feel this burning along your arms and legs, you're gonna like wipe off the slime off of you. And as you look around the room, you now see a plethora of disco orb slime just splattered along the wall, along the ground. And then you notice that slime still
Is the slime still growing?
it's still moving and it's still glowing.
It's still moving and glowing.
It is glowing and moving, and I do not know why I just pasted that. Yeah, that was in the Control V. You can ignore that. Alright, so the number of creatures that it spawns into...
Well, we know what Laris is thinking of right now.
It was in my clipboard.
Good story, bro.
Oh god, we have a lot of slime spawning, guys.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This one will be gone.
I'd like to fill a vial of, I'd like to fill a vial with ooze.
2. Now's the time.
Alright, so 14 is what it rolled. 14 little slimes come into existence, all under the effect of your magic still. They're all they're all little glowing disco orbs.
14 disco balls.
Oh my god.
Just one giant. The whole room was just a disco ball.
No, he's just gonna, yeah, there we go. Get to work.
I don't know what to say.
Just put them next to them.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh my god.
No, that didn't work what I want. Alright, well, either way, each of these guys is a disco orb. I'm not going to spawn 14, it's not going to work very well. Alright, so there's 14 of them. Okay, so the room is a huge, brilliant dance floor now. Please, let's continue.
Please dance.
It's now technically Hanane's turn, and you see these slimes, and each one of them has their own little pairs of eyes, and they each all have brilliant rainbow colors prismatically across their bodies, and they all suddenly all have smiles on their faces. They start moving their way towards you all.
Aren't they dancing? That's the real question.
Well, considering I'm in a really bad position, I'm trying to run out. And then, what's the range on Shatter again?
The radius or the range?
100 feet from me.
It is 60 feet.
Range is 60, radius
And
is
it's a
20.
10-foot cube. Right? Cube?
Oh, you guys make me have to go straight up. Give me a second. 60 feet, range, 10-foot radius sphere.
Okay,
radius.
10-foot radius, so I guess I will cast Shatter here.
Okay, it hits 2. They need to do con saving throws, right?
I believe.
Do I need to save?
No. I specifically targeted it to where it doesn't hurt you.
You're the best.
Oh, such a swell guy. Alright, that's an 11, that's a failure, and that's a 13, that's a failure, so they take full damage.
How many is it again?
Shatter should be 3d8.
3, okay.
Thunder Wave is 2, Shatter's 3. Like the advanced version of it.
17 damage.
gonna turn it off because it's gonna drive me nuts.
Okay.
So this song's called Late Night Snack. I think it's very appropriate.
Well, it is late night.
And it's a snack for it. Alright.
I said 17 damage.
Alright, these two slimes, and they just splatter on the ground and they're no longer moving. Okay. Is that it, Hanabe?
Yep.
Okay. At the end of your turn, some of them are able to move. Let's see how many. All of them. Wow.
Oh, they move slow, thank goodness.
One square at a time, baby.
Here, I thought I was about to die.
Okay. As your turn ends, it's now... Oh, it is its turn. Okay. So now it gets to take its turn, which is everything gets to move.
Oh god, every turn it gets to roll if it gets to move. Never mind, it's not slow, it's fast as fuck, boy. This is too many small slimes.
Actually, this one would go over this way. There we go. Yeah, he would want to go through the bone. Alright, so as you see them kind of like edging their way along the ground, you just see these like carved ground starting to be dissolved underneath it. And this one actually gets into melee contact with Quack, and it's going to attempt to attack him. That's not good. That's probably gonna miss.
I feel like if I hit one with my war pig, it's just gonna melt it.
Use your javelins.
They're so much weaker though.
Yeah, that misses. Alright, so it totally misses. You see this, like, it kind of forms like a giant, like, pseudopod-like arm, and it flings it towards Quack, who jumps backward, avoids it. That's turn. It's now Roderick's turn.
Okay, let's see. He shall cast Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Go
Right.
for the one targeting Quack. Where's my D20? Screw it. 14. And that.
Okay, so roll 3d10.
What's he doing?
He's Eldritch blasting the one next to Quack, and he crit on one of the hits, so 3d10 for total damage. The equivalent of a level 2 spell.
On a cantrip.
14.
14.
Mm-hmm.
Does it die though?
This one? Yeah.
Alright.
You made it sound so.
14 health. Or at most 14 health.
Maybe.
That's what I said, on average.
Right about there.
Your turn done?
Yep.
Okay. 10 of them get to move, which of the 14, 3 are down, so one of them cannot. We'll make that the one the far back. Did I move this one? I don't think I did.
You did it.
Oh, okay. Kind of hard.
When
I
you
didn't,
did
I didn't
move
fall. I
is
didn't
the one
fall.
that's super back.
Farther down the line by the other guy.
Just
I'm
go
not
straight.
supposed. I know I wasn't moving that one. Okay. Anyways, that's what I was trying to do, but I think I missed one. Anyways, all right. So now it's Quack's turn. He's going to
Pew pew.
try to move away from the slime. 1, 2, 3. He's going to aim towards this guy. Should take 2 shots. That hits. That hits. Plus. Okay, that's enough. This slime is out. Okay. And his turn ends. 9 of them get to move, so I'll put 1. God damn. Alright, we'll do it more logical. I didn't move this one. Yeah. Alright, that's their turns. And now it is Oric's turn.
Save me.
Okay, Oric is going to retreat away from the Uzis a teeny bit, and is going to shoot an arrow at this guy.
Okay, roll.
Plus 2 is 11.
Okay, that hits.
Okay.
You only have a +2?
Dexterity? Yeah.
But you also get out your proficiency, right? You're proficient with that weapon?
Oh, plus 5. Yeah, okay, good call. Sorry.
I mean, you are proficient with it, right?
I am, yeah. Rolling damage. Ooh, it's
3.
plus 2, 3.
Okay, so this crossbow enters into it. And you see the crossbow immediately just being digested.
And now, get away!
Alright, then end of your turn.
I'm still dancing.
Oh, what do you do? Oh, still dancing? Yeah, they're all still disco orbed up. Alright, 6 of them get to move. That's 3 of them. Those 6 will move. Alright. He does not get to attack you on this turn, unfortunately. Not yet. Alright. And now it's Aniel's turn. Who's going to look. Let's see if she actually sees Haname in trouble. Natural 20. She sees Haname in trouble. So now she's going to try to hit it with that spell she can never hit. There we go. As a dex saving throw by it, and it rolled a natural 18. It actually has higher dex now, so it saves. So the spell gets the ground.
Oh my god, Annie!
She can't hit anything with the spell.
At least Annie was trying to save.
She's trying. All right, she's gonna back off a couple spaces to this kind of conglomerate mass we have in the middle here. She gets her back against Doma. You feel like a pair of wings kind of tickling your ears.
Oh gosh.
Okay, her turn ends. How many get to move? 19! 19 get to
Jesus
move.
Christ.
Alright, so this one stays here.
Looks like I'm a spare character.
If it one hits you, I'm just gonna laugh.
I only have 7 health.
Like I said, laugh.
Alright, and that
You got
was
beaten by the slowest moving slime.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, there's 10 alive right now? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there's 10 alive, so I can move 9 more times.
What?
1, 2, 3, 4,
God, that's how that
5,
works.
6, 7, 8. Alright, so that slime just zip, flies through real quick. Okay. Now, the one next to Haname, since it didn't move, he gets to attack you. Haname. Natural 1! What?!
Oh my god.
What the fuck?! No! No! I make these cool fights, right? And nope, this dice won't let me hit things. Okay? It's fine. It's fine. We're all good. I'm not salty. Doma, it's your turn.
Yeah, that's real.
There's a giant disco orb right in front of you, Haname, and it just swung, and you saw as it swung, like its own body like collapsed into itself, and it fell into a puddle in front of you, and it's like reforming itself.
Okay, I'm gonna smack this thing with divine smite.
You're attacking it? Okay, you run up to it,
Yeah.
swing.
Swing, bada, swing. 10, I hit.
Yes, you do hit. Roll damage.
Okay, that's with divine smite. That's fucking, what was that, 2d8 added?
Yes, 2d8.
$22 damage. For my first hit.
Alright, so how much damage?
22.
Okay, the slime will be knocked out.
Eviscerate.
You take 1 acid damage as this acid splashes off into you. And your weapon has been partially damaged.
I expected as much.
Your weapon has a -1 penalty permanently on takes permanent and cumulative penalty damage to its damage rolls. It has a -1 to its damage. If it can be broken more, and it'll get weaker and weaker. So it doesn't hurt its chance to hit, but it does 1 less damage permanently now. That weapon.
Spin
Please
it
make
around a little bit.
so make sure you have that.
Of course.
Okay. At the end of your turn, is that everything you want on your turn?
How much movement do I have left? Can I move 2 squares or something?
Move where you want.
1, 2.
You're next to Aniel's front, over here, so you move 3.
Okay, I'm smacking the next one with the divine smite.
Okay, attack.
If I hit it.
That hits.
Hits. And 15 damage.
Alright, that one liquefies. You take 4 acid damage. Your weapon now has a minus penalty of 2.
Oh boy.
I had to make some sacrifices. What was it for damage?
You took 4 acid damage as this acid splashes off into you. Okay.
Okay, so it's a -2 to hit, right?
Yes. No, -2 on damage. Hits the same. Its damage is lower now. Permanently 2 less.
The damage of the weapon is now permanently less.
Yes, that weapon. You'd have to find a replacement or repair it. Alright, 7 of them gets a move. The one next to Haname will not move. This guy's gonna go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can move 2 more. 1, 2. Alright, so Haname, 1 tries to strike you. A 15, does that hit you?
Yep.
Okay, you take. Wow, that's not that much. You take 6 bludgeoning. Oh, there's the damage. Oh, okay. 6 bludgeoning damage, and you take.
I'm out.
No!
Really?
No, I'm out. You said 6 and.
Yes.
Yeah, she only had 7 health.
I'm out.
Okay. Then this could technically kill you. Let's see. Nope, it's not going to. It's too low. All right. All right. So with that, you kind of get knocked unconscious, and you're falling on the ground. The slime starts morphing itself over your unconscious body, and the rest of the group, some of you kind of turn in horror, and you see Haname being dissolved. As steam rises off of her body, the protons are being dragged out of their element, and she's being eaten. Holy shit. Okay, that's that. Alright, these other 2, these guys form into a larger one. That was not supposed to happen. Okay, and
Wait,
these
that
2.
happen if one was dead? Because one was dead.
Yes.
It can eat the dead ones.
Each other up.
I mean, you literally see it walk over one of its dead corpse's friends, and it grows in size.
We need to get the fuck out of here, people. I don't know why we're just standing around the middle here.
Alright, so that's then if it's turn there. Who just went? That was Doma. Evelyn, you're up.
Stop, you fucking monsters.
Okay.
Firebolt. Well, first I'm gonna move this fuck away from these assholes. Then I'm gonna fire firebolt this asshole over Haname.
Okay. Roll.
Gotta do 15 damage.
4 plus 7.
That hits. I didn't realize Haname was that hurt. Oh my god, maybe Anio would have helped. Holy shit.
Yeah!
Probably should have.
I'm almost dead.
I didn't realize it was that bad. Oh my god. Well, it wasn't stressed enough because I didn't know and I controlled the character, so you probably should have been like, let's take a break, guys, or something.
Same fucking thing.
I was
How much?
9.
9 damage?
Yeah.
That's enough.
Oh, what a hero!
Alright, so the slime, it's no longer like restricting around her, but it's still on top of her.
Yeah, I don't
You
know
still
if
see
I
steam
Can you
sizzling
go
off
over
her.
there and pull her out as your bonus action?
No, she cannot. Alright, and that's the end of your turn. It's now, how many get to keep moving? Yes, but it can't attack further, so with that in mind, it would just digest you when it's the creature's turn. So, 17 moves with the few remaining. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 6,
Quack,
7,
get
8,
shooting.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
It's currently 5 alive right now.
Alright, so that's the 17 moves they have. There's no attacks them that turn. And now it is Haname's turn. Haname, death saving throw. Okay, 1 success. Alright, and now it's the creature's turn. Haname, you immediately lose 1 death saving throw from the acid still damaging your body.
Yep.
Doesn't crit you, but you'd have 1 death saving throw.
Yep.
The other creatures are going to move.
1 save, 1 fail. Someone needs to help.
I will as soon as I.
How dare they? It's not okay, Laris.
Hey. It's not, I mean, you guys are used to these slow-moving monster fights, and here we go. It's a little bit different. Okay. They've all moved. Only one can attack Quack. He's going to try. That actually hits. Ooh. Okay. 6 bludgeoning damage plus... 8 plus 6. 14 acidic damage. So, 20 damage total to Quack. Who... Quack is not unconscious. He's still there, but he is super fucked up. You see plumage falling to the ground. He's bleeding. He's wobbly legged. He probably can't take another hit, kind of thing. He's really hurt. That's the end of that. Don't forget, they're all a bunch of little disco orbs, so maybe that makes it not as threatening? I don't know. You all were having so much fun a moment ago. Roderick.
Only one of us was dancing.
Roderick, go ahead and your turn, man.
You're right there.
Okay.
Do a heal.
Oh yeah, I use healing hand or whatever it is. No. Now in this case, can I necessarily stabilize her, or do I have to basically clean her off?
Mimic.
Get me out of the gosh.
Yeah, because I was like, if I press vegetation, would I be able to assist?
Get rid of this slime.
I can't answer that question. You're free to do what you want.
Try. That's what I was gonna try.
It would be your action to see if it works.
I press vegetation.
Okay, you can make an Arcana check.
You got this, Roderick.
Please be beautiful first.
Alright, here.
I'm sorry, roll a d20, add your spellcasting modifier, that's what I want.
Fire, so it'd be that 7. So 15, is that right?
No, your casting modifier. It's your charisma mod.
Okay, 4, so I get 12.
12. Okay. You get some of it off, but not all of it. So basically, we'll say about half of the Slim's coating here has been removed, but the other half is still on top of her body. Still digesting her. Still burning her way. You see blood pooling up. It's kind of entering into the slime. And she's just unconscious, letting it kill her. And she can't do anything about it.
That's great.
Can I do one more thing though?
That was your action. I mean, unless I don't know what you're trying to do. I mean, you can yell, free action. You can bonus action if you got something you can use.
I was gonna ask, can I use one of the water skins on me and like dump it on her?
That'd be an action. You'd have to grab it, uncork it, turn it upside down, wait for it to start dumping. Right, it's your action.
God damn it!
Sorry, man.
Hello.
Okay, your turn.
Somebody get over here and help her out! Hurry!
All right, and now it's the NPC's turn. 18 moves.
Gross.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, never mind. I know what you're doing now. I'm an idiot. Okay.
Maybe a little bit.
Okay, they get one attack. Quack is still technically in melee. That misses. Quack actually dodges it. Fucking on the death's door. I rolled on that 3, so that's only an 8 to hit, so that misses. Okay, so technically now it's Quack's turn. Who's gonna disengage?
No way.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Help on
5.
me.
Alright, he runs over here. He uses disengage. He doesn't have an action. Who's next?
It's back to the top.
Shit. Actually, no. Or can't make it. It'd have to be to Evelyn.
What?
What?
You're way out there. Alright, Evelyn, actually, Quack is going to take the opportunity attack, is what he would do instead, actually, in this situation. Okay, so the creature's going to swing at Quack. It's a 5 nat, plus it's 5, it misses, so Quack can move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Quack says, because he has met you, yes. Evelyn! And then he throws something towards you.
Okay.
15 plus is 4 dex, 19. A small little object flies towards you. You catch it in your hand. You look down on it, and you see a good berry that he didn't consume. Place in your hand.
Oh, thank God.
Quack, you're beautiful.
Okay, his turn ends. The slimes get to go again. And they get 12 moves.
Fucking gross. I gotta get over there and start bitch slapping some slimes. I swear to God.
I already need a new
Oh,
weapon.
this is Melina. Oh, such awesome Melina.
Burn them all. Burn them all. Burn it. Burn it. God, if it gets big enough, does it break into small ones again?
Alright, so this large one appears in front of the orc. It will not be able to attack this turn. That's that. I mean, it's not its turn, it's part of that movement. Okay, so now, technically orc, this giant slime is still disco orbed in front of you. Staring down at you with a giant grin on its face. You're muted, by the way.
I hope he's still dancing.
Yeah, I hope he's still dancing.
Actually, no, they're no longer disco balls. They haven't.
You're
been
right,
for a
your
while.
concentration broke. It's no longer disco orbed. Good point.
Yeah.
Good catch.
Hey, they're still glowing though.
They're
No.
not.
My bad.
Nope.
For me.
Your arrow only stayed in one of them. That was the one that was way in the back, and it's that arrow has fallen to the ground after it exploded, so that's glowing, but nothing else is.
Why is the arrow glowing? I thought it made the creature glow.
You know, that's a good point. Fine, they're glowing, but they're not huge disco bulbs. That's fine.
Damn.
They shed dim lights. It's like 5 feet of, like, you see this pink hue color. Alright, you leave melee range. It's going to do an opportunity attack against you. Natural 3. It misses.
It's so close.
Yes. As you see it kind of form into a giant, what appears to be like a three-fingered hand, and as it swings it towards you, trying to grab onto you, but you duck underneath it.
He almost had me.
So close. Where are you going?
Okay. And I am going to shoot an arrow at this one.
Okay.
No fire, no acid, just arrows. Arrows!
Well, acid doesn't seem like a reasonable choice since I see it acidically burning someone. And then I don't have any more fire to do anything with, so I got a whole 7.
7?
Yep.
Total?
Yep.
Its AC's higher since it's not the large one. It actually does not hit it.
The first miss!
Yeah.
Congratulations!
Count on me.
Anything else?
Oh, I can.
I don't think my last... No, I'm gonna stay there and try and, like, body block for Quack.
Okay, 20 moves for the creatures. Natural
Jesus,
20.
what the fuck?
Yeah, they roll a d20 to see how many times they move. I've been rolling teens every time, so it's not. They're not supposed to get the statistics on that many moves. They're supposed to get some 5s in there, right? So this one moves up to Aniel. It's going to use some of its moves to attack Aniel. 1, 2, 3. This one's going to move over to you. There's no one still alive over by Doma. Is there only 3 alive now? Yeah. Yep. That's it. 3 alive. All right. So, Auric, one attack coming your way. Natural 9 plus it's 5, 14. Does that hit you?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, there's only 2 alive. There's only 2. Yeah, there's only 2 alive. Okay, yeah. The big one next to Aniel. Natural 18. She gets hit.
Aniel, no! Our healer.
4 bludgeoning damage. Plus.
Fly away.
Out of her wings melt.
Alright, it's going to be 5. 12. 20. 23 acid damage.
Gross.
Oh my god. She is barely alive. Holy shit.
Fucking Christ.
So you see this like huge like strike land into her, and she's just burning up
How far
parts of
away
her.
is she from me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 60 feet.
Too far. Fucking Christ.
Okay. So she's super hurt. Blood falling down to the floor. She's kneeling down. Wincing.
How often do these things get turns?
At the end of everyone's
Everyone's round.
after everyone's round, they get to roll and try to make a
And
move.
if they're within range, they can hit you if they don't move.
No, I understand that.
So whose turn was
I
that?
just went, right?
So now it's technically Aniel's turn.
So after Aniel goes, they're gonna go again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy frick. Alright.
Aniel better back the fuck up. Oh, but it's
Disengage! Disengage!
No, she can't. She can't attack it. Shit.
Disengage!
Fuck!
She should give away and fly.
Alright, she'll take the disengage action. She will. 1,
Fly the
2,
fuck up,
3,
Annual.
4, 5, 6. She'll run that way. And she can't do anything else on her turn. Holy fuck. Holy fuck.
I needed her to come to me.
She's running. Doma's closer. Theoretically, it might go for Doma. That's her thinking. She needs time.
Yeah.
She needs time.
Oh, if it hits me, I'll die.
Well, she doesn't really. It's bad for everyone right now. Okay. This one, it was so happy earlier. You guys like, oh, this is so easy, and then.
And Yeah, no, that's
Only 2 moves. It was finally a low roll.
Fucking Laris and his fucking mini boss monster.
Alright, so this one moves 1 step closer, and the one over here next to Oric will use one of those movements to attack Oric. Oric, an attack of a natural 16 to a 21, it hits you.
That does hit.
You take 4 bludgeoning damage, and 7 acidic damage.
Oh,
How are
I
you?
understand now. The
How
more
are Oric and Doma level health-wise?
I'm at, let me take a look. 18 health. I'm looking pretty bloodied and might be limping a little. Actually, I'm pretty sure my hands are severely fucking burned.
Doma, it's your turn.
Really forget about me.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh,
Let's smack it twice with
shit.
Divine Smite.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attacks.
Oh, I'm gonna regret this. Yeah.
You might.
We need to be running, Bebo.
Natural.
Oh.
Well, that looked weird for the roll, but I'll count it. I mean, because it looked like it didn't actually roll. If you ever seen this, if you hold the left click while you're rolling, it doesn't actually roll normally well. You need to like let go of it so it actually scatters. You know what I'm saying, my man? That's still
One of
nat
them's
20.
still in that 20.
Yeah, well, that was me rolling. Can you just roll real quick again for me real fast? You're probably still gonna hit. Yeah, okay. Those both would hit. I want to take that roll because it actually rolled, if you're cool with that. I'm sorry, that steals your nat 20, but...
Still 2 nat 20s, but yeah. Yeah, it's okay. I'm doing Divine Smite on both of them.
Do you have the spell slots for it?
I have 2 level 1.
Okay, so let's do the first hit to see if you don't die from the acid damage splashback.
Oh, joy.
Because I don't know how... You say you're hurt, so you might get knocked unconscious for the second strike.
That would be 16 damage.
Okay. And you take a grand total of... oh, that's the wrong dice. That's... No, is that... Yes, it's the wrong dice. This dice. It's still low. It's still 1 acid damage being bounced back into you. Your weapon... Oh, don't forget your weapon loses 2 damage, right?
Yep.
And you just lost another third, so your weapon now loses 3 permanently damage. So you did 16 still, even with the -2?
No, that would be...
14 then.
Yeah.
Okay, and so now your weapon's a -3, just for damage. Alright, as you strike into its form, like half of its body slumps back to the ground, and it seems to shrink in size. But it's still kicking.
Still gonna smack it one more fucking time.
Okay.
Stupid bitch of a monster. Fucking needs to die.
This has been a good fight.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
16 plus 5 minus 3.
Evelyn's got a turn.
Alright, so with that in mind, yeah, that hits. You take a grand total of... Fuck! 2 acid damage back. Very
I
little.
already rolled for the hit.
Yes,
And
you
I
get...
rolled
No,
for
I'm
the
saying it hits you back regardless of... You struck it, and it
Okay.
splashes onto you. So you take 2 acid
What
damage.
was it?
2. And then you did 16 more damage, you said?
It's 16 plus 5. 16 plus 5 minus 3.
21 minus 3, so 18. Alright, that slime falls to pieces, and it's no longer moving. Anything
Love
else? Anything else in your turn?
Well done.
I don't have anything left to have.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure I'm missing a few fingers.
so
at
there's
this
still
point.
one alive, and it rolled a natural 20, so it gets to move 20 moves. It moves away from Oric. 2,
Ah,
3,
shit.
4.
If that
Get the fuck away from that.
opportunity.
Oh, it definitely does if Oric wants to swing.
Swing. Swing with your javelin.
Do you want to swing Oric with your melee weapon?
Of course.
Okay, roll to hit.
Fucking, I'd rather hit it than fucking watch it fuse.
Oh, of course. So
Fusion ha!
plus 5.
Sorry.
I'm at 7. 8.
8. 8 is just enough to hit it.
You're a beautiful person.
Roll your damage.
Please kill it.
Please.
Please be the most beautiful person I've ever seen.
we said it's a d6, right?
Yes, javelin. You're stabbing with a javelin.
Yeah. It's 3 plus 5. 2. 3 plus 2.
So 5 damage. Okay. It's still kicking, unfortunately. It wasn't enough to actually kill it. Your weapon does suffer -1 penalty. So permanent.
Sorry.
Alright, now it moves the rest of its distance. Enters the big guy. And
Fuck this thing.
it collects all the slime along the way, and it gets right back to that size it was previously.
Wouldn't it be smaller because we heard it?
Yeah, it just collects the slime along the way. There's these deceased slime, and that one has sentience, and it collects it back up. It can't attack, because it formed, but it is now flowing in front of you, Doma, grinning. Ah, your knees shake, your arms are heavy.
Arms are sweaty.
Alright, Evelyn.
Health-wise?
Evelyn, it's your
15.
turn.
I'm at 15 health.
It's either you
I
have to
have no
leave me
idea how
here.
bad Aniela is. I just know she's hurt, right?
Oh, yeah.
She looks on the edge.
Save our dying.
I'll just tell you, she has 3 health remaining. She
I have
barely lived.
what I want to do.
You can either end
Well,
this
my
entire
thought is throw
encounter.
further Goodberry to Roderick to save Haname and go up and move to cast.
You can
Blind.
hand an item to a friend for free. It's a free action to hand an item. So you can technically move to Roderick, hand the berry, doesn't cost you anything, and still get your action. There's other options
What's your
too.
highest level spell? Please shoot it with that.
Fireball.
Okay, maybe not that one.
Or fly.
I mean,
Fly on something to get out of there.
does
I wouldn't be able to move until my turn, and it hit me by then.
No, she can cast it with you not in range.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I heard
but
it's
it
his
wouldn't
turn.
be my turn to
But it's not
fly.
his turn to move, he's saying. The monster's coming up next anyway. Okay,
Yeah, so
I
shoot it.
To fucking Chris.
you just gotta do enough damage that would one-shot it. If you don't, there could be
Fireball.
problems.
And I don't know if that'll be.
A fireball would be enough.
I have 15 health. Do it. Revive me with the potion I have.
She can
Why don't you
she can cast a fireball to a point behind it. She doesn't have to target a creature with it. She
Alright,
could. It's an open
okay.
space.
Alright,
She
alright,
could throw it like
alright.
back here, and it hits just it. It's possible to be smart with your AoE like that. Some spells require a target. Fireball just needs a location.
Okay, hit just the slime.
Okay, I'm gonna move up. I'm gonna hand Roderick the good berry.
Okay, you pass Roderick, who's currently next to Haname, who's still
That's
being.
fine.
You see her dissolving.
Here. And I'm gonna cast Fireball on the big one behind it so I don't hit Dawn.
Alright, well, let's just make sure, because I don't want to fuck up my shit. Fireball should, as I've always seen it used that way, it should be able to be cast behind it and just hit the things you
It
chose.
can. It's a
A
location.
A bright sleek flash, pointing your finger to a point you choose. So you get to choose where it explodes, and that's the importance of this spell. That's why you get to choose its designation. So,
Casting it so it only hits this
click where you want it to be. That's very important. You choose where it's
I don't
the
know
center.
where this guy ends though.
Well, so all the squares he's in is currently part of his model. So as long as it's within 4 squares of there, the point of origin. So I just want you to hit the hold tab, and then left click the square that you want that fireball center to be, which it will then spread 4 squares out from there. All right, so if it lands here,
Hold on. That'll work.
all
Whatever.
right, so if it lands here, 1, 2, 3, 4. It just hits that creature. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doma's out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oric's out of range. 1,
Burn
2,
other
3,
slime.
4.
Burn.
The other slime gets hit.
That's
Alright,
right
so
there.
now it does a dex saving throw. Oh boy. It needs a nat 20, basically. Natural 12, minus 3, so that's a 9. It takes full
I heard
damage.
that twat, and
Takes
I was
full-
about to cry.
Takes full damage. Go ahead and
Liberated.
8d6 fire damage. We'll see if it does enough. You might have to empower if you have any spell points left. Sorcerer points.
Of course I do.
Alright, let's see. Ooh, that's a lot of low.
I'm empowering that bullshit. bullshit.
Yeah, that's 19 currently.
I didn't mean that was a 2.
It's fine. You're already re-rolling that one, so just drag it to the side. You're probably going to keep the 4, right? The 4s, but everything else maybe you re-roll?
I'm doing these 4.
Okay, so you want to keep that 14. That wasn't a roll.
Okay, what was that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the thing that Doma did earlier. So go ahead and select it again. There you go. Alright. So now it became 29 fire damage.
Better.
That's just enough. How do you want to kill it? How do you want to kill it, dear? My dear.
It's gonna look all animated as fireball.
I want it to fucking burn every single inch of it.
Alright.
Just like slow crawl burn.
I got a good idea.
Is it
Alright, so you throw this, you point to the destination, you throw the bead, and this little small spark of fire moves off towards the destination.
Oh, +4, by the way, to that damage.
Yeah, it's already enough. Yeah. And so with that, as it floats past, the creature's eyes actually watch it go by it, and its face turns from a smiley face to that of inquisition. So it's more like a O, like, what's this? And then it turns towards this huge inferno that erupts behind it, and like a spiraling tornado of flames, the torrents around the creature, and its face definitely turns into that of horror as its body parts slush to the ground. It's boiling alive, you see steam rising out of it, and it actually makes an audible noise at this point as it falls to the ground right in front of you, Dorma. And as the flames quake down, this torrent of huge, brilliant orange hue of what once was a floating disco orb type creature, now it's just a puddle of sludge on the ground, and it's still boiling even after that. You see the ground itself is seared, scalded. There's like an actual, like, for a couple seconds, there's actually it's glowing red hot. Her anger manifested itself to a point where that spell actually was starting to melt the ground, and you see a little bit of heated rock.
Swear to God, if you weren't acidic, I would kick you.
Haname, please roll a death saving throw.
Yep.
You got this. I believe in you.
I'm just trying to find my D20.
Hey, that's a
Save.
Okay, and as your turn ends, you take another death saving throw from the acid that's still on you. You're 2 and 2. You could have died if you failed that.
Yep.
At this point, combat is over, and I now will let you guys respond.
Saber.
Prestidigitation and
Yeah, you clean up the last half. Haname is. You pop the bloodberry in your mouth. You force her to eat it. You like close her own, and force it down her throat, enters her stomach, and Haname, you regain conscious with 1 HP. You hurt. Your body burns. Your nerves are totally inflamed. But you guys managed to get through the ordeal.
As soon as she wakes up, I like pull her back a couple feet away from that fucking shit.
As you guys stare off into the room,
Damage from the ground.
as you look off into the room, you see the carved out floor from the slime burning away the ground. You stare at the giant, somewhat melted area from Evelyn's insane inferno manifesting itself. And you're all way more hurt than I expected you to be. But you lived.
It was all from that hellish rebuke. If it weren't for that hellish
Yes, it was the previous fight. If you guys healed, this would not have been anywhere near as challenging as it was before. So if there's any lesson here, sometimes maybe proper vocalizing your actual health thoroughly so that you actually stop to heal.
I did.
Well,
Haname did. Haname
Okay.
said I have 7 health about 5 minutes before.
I didn't catch it, and the rest of the group kept moving forward, so it obviously wasn't stressed enough. I don't know. Let that be a lesson to everyone. If I don't pick it up and I'm controlling a healing NPC, make sure the NPC is consciously not healing you, right? Like, demand the answer. She's like, no, I don't want to heal you because I hate you, right? Or something like that. Anywho, what would you guys like to do? You're currently alive.
How is Annie looking? She was at like 4 health, right?
She looks terrible. Blood's dripping down her arm. She's clutching these like acidic burn wounds along her body.
I think anyone who can should help
Everybody gather up. And we'll
As like you come over to her and you help support her,
Yeah, I give her a shoulder.
she casts a heal into herself because she couldn't have done it earlier against the creature because it was too risky. She's gonna cast a whoop, whoop, whoop.
She's gonna cast the Zoidberg.
That's actually no. She could cast that instead because all right, so you guys gather up, right? Supposedly.
Get out of this area. Let's
All right,
go.
so at the minimum, she's going to burn her action to do preserve life. She's going to heal herself. What's her health? 18. I think she was, but not anymore. 18. Yeah, she can heal herself 15 HP. Okay, 15 for Haniel, so she's back to okay-ish. 15, 18. Okay, and then Haname, you can heal 10 HP.
Oh, thank goodness.
She still has a little bit left. No, that's literally it. Yeah, that's all she can give at the moment, unfortunately, with that action. Because it's 5 times her level, I think. Right? Just read it. I just read it, and I forget. 5 times her level! Yeah, alright, that's as much as she can give. No, she has 2 hit points remaining. Who's the most next hurt? Doma?
I'm at 15.
What's your max
I'm still
HP?
alive.
40-something?
52.
Okay, yeah, you heal 2 extra hit points.
Yeah, I'm missing a lot of hit points, guys.
So she uses that, so you guys heal a little bit more. And kind of regroup.
I say we take a rest.
Oh shit, I forgot Quack was super fucked up too.
Yeah,
There wasn't just 2 of you that were hurt. Quack was one hit to death too.
I can help Quack with lay on hands as we rest.
Okay.
Take a couple and burn the rest of these bodies. We want to make sure there's no chance of this thing reviving.
But you do that and
I'll go back.
As you look back to the giant.
I'll fireball. Haname, are you okay?
I really don't want to answer that right now.
Just begin resting for now. We'll be back shortly.
Okay, I'm gonna wander over to Quack and help
That was not meant to be a fight that challenging, but they came in so hurt that it did apparently. Wow. that's
each
crazy.
slime until it's dead.
Alright, so you kind of start blasting firebolts in these slime, and you realize it's not necessarily very effective for burning them. It's kind of splattering the slime to smaller and smaller segments, which is spreading it out. Parts of it seem to be kind of vaporizing, but
Stop doing that.
you do get the notion that it's pretty resilient to that kind of attack. It's just not going to do what you're effectively doing it. There might be advantages to spreading it, though. Who knows?
I light a torch and I begin searing the body to see if it's
Alright,
affected at
so
all.
you just dunk the torch into it and put it next to it?
No, I'm holding it next to it, kind
Yeah.
of trying to burn.
So it's a puddle on the ground, so you kind of hover the torch over to see if you can kind of burn it, and it doesn't seem to have an immediate action. You realize that you'd have to get a pretty hot amount of fire, which would require a large amount of wood to actually, because the torch is not producing heat, really. It's more meant for light. It's not making large amounts of heat. And so you'd have to make a bonfire or copy Evelyn's manifestation of just anger through herself to basically liquefy it, kind of thing. So it's not necessarily your current means of dealing with it.
Is there, would I even, could I roll something to see if I would even know what could get rid of this?
Yeah, go ahead and just make a general intelligence roll to see.
Alright, I'll try Void Flame on it.
Void Flame?
Hoping the necrotic damage.
So Void Flame kind of pulls moisture out of it. You see this water kind of being sucked out of it, and afterwards it's just this really sticky looking residue kind of sticking to the ground. It did remove liquid out of it.
I still scoop up a vial of the acid.
Okay, so Evelyn, the 10, effectively, you're not getting any brilliant ideas. Like, yeah, heat definitely seemed to work, but you're not sure if it was just the intense anger. Like, as you notice on the ground was actually starting to melt. That's how hot that inferno was. Domo would have been potentially uncomfortable if it wasn't from his demonic heritage.
Resistant to fire.
So
All I really otherwise have cantrip-wise is Ray of Frost, and I don't think really. I mean, I can try cold, I guess.
and even then, you don't feel like that's really going to do it either. But as you guys are like roaming around the area, feel free to make investigation rolls. All of you that are moving. So
Investigation.
not Doma, not Aniel, not Haname, not Quack. That's Oric, Roderick, and Evelyn.
If I was to land Daniel on my energy, would she be able to heal over?
Can I cast balance on myself before that?
No, because you're kind of like, you're looking around.
Larix.
What's up?
If I was to give Daniel my energy, like
14.
before, would she be able to heal the group?
So you can't donate mana to another person. You're aware of that. Land hands can augment healing for like a very long sustained injury. So like if someone had like a finger like blown off, you could help them repair it slowly, kind of over a very long period of time. But even like, so let's say you were trying to help someone recover 1 hit point over like a short rest. That's a very inefficient method. It could feasibly work, but it would be a roll to help heal a little bit of health. It's a very terrible ratio, by the way. So you can maybe with your 25 HP pool, you can maybe restore like 5 hit points with a really good roll. Is what you could do, and that would require you to do it over a short rest while doing it, and that's the ratio it gets. It's 1/5 of what you have of what you're donating basically, and it could completely just buzz out and get nothing. Plus an hour of your time. Yeah, it's not effective at all, but that's kind of how healing is for the majority of races on this planet. I mean, majority of everyone on this planet. Aniel seems to have a little bit more of a potence than you've seen, so there's something there going on, I guess. Alright, I totally missed all these rolls. So a 6 by Evelyn, a 14 by Petite, and Castle a 9. Alright, so Evelyn, you're finding potentially digested creatures, etc. Nothing really valuable to you.
There's a dead shit in here, guys.
Let's see. Oric, you're in the same boat. You do decide to collect a sample of this creature, which you scoop up into a vial, unless you want multiple vials. Now you have a limited supply, so your choice, sir. How many vials would you like?
I will take 3 vials.
Alright, so go ahead and donate 3 of the vials that you have into, effectively, we'll call it black slime, I guess. And maybe you might want to identify it as Medan slime, I guess, that in case like we fought a bunch of other slimes for some reason. I don't know. You're in the Medan Mountains, of course it's in Medan. What the fuck?
Right, okay.
Alright, and Roderick with your 14. You notice an article of clothing that seems to be surviving inside the giant creature that was vaporized. As you kind of like poke around with it, you realize that it's not digesting, which kind of gives you a couple ideas. It's potentially magical. And you grab it. It is a pair of boots.
Boots.
And as you like look them over, you realize that there is an enchantment on them. You're not sure what the enchantment does, but you have a pair of boots.
Guys, look what I found!
Boots.
Oh, cool. Do you want me to tell you what they do?
Sure, let's keep looking around first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get up and wander over to where the creature came from and look in like the hollowed area. What the fuck happened over here?
Seems to be scarred, damaged area. You see a large amount of bones. Nothing seems to really stand out.
I was originally going to be looking at the skeleton pile over here. Is there anything?
Okay. Are you trying to investigate what kind of creature it was, or what are you trying to do?
See if there's anything worth looting.
Nope, nothing's coming out to you.
Was there anything that stands out on the wall, such as like maybe like writing and such?
No, you definitely... I mean, okay. Actually, make me a survival roll. Not survival, I'm sorry. Nature roll, Roderick. a good point actually.
I feel like this is natural cave.
That is a 16.
Okay. As you look around the environment, you do see some signs of which once was probably etched out or man-made portions of it. That was a 19, you said?
16.
16. Okay, well, let's look at it. So you see portions that seem to have been man-made, but they're lawn damaged. You see kind of like parts of it corroded off, and you kind of get the notion that potentially this creature liked this spot a lot, and it just moving around here has damaged the area, or expanded the area, for that matter.
Where are all these creatures coming from? Can I check for tracks over in this tunnel?
Yeah, you can make a survival check.
Because there seems to be a lot of bones and no creatures. 18 plus, what was it, nature?
No, it's survival.
Oh, survival. Jesus, that is something else. Shit. That's a flat roll. Or a minus. Is it a minus? It's a minus 1.
Minus 1, okay, so what is it?
17.
17. Okay, there you see signs of this creature moving around along the ground, along the wall. You stare up as high as your 60 feet vision can ascertain, and you...
Oh, I was checking down this tunnel.
Yeah, I know. I'm giving you everything I can right now. You look 60 feet up with your dark vision, and you see that it looks like this slime creature also climbed up along the wall, even up at 60 feet. You're just seeing these smooth, slightly acidic portions of it, like moving its body around the room, and the cave. And it's... But you're not seeing signs of, like, fecal matter or other types of creatures here. You're not fully sure what was going on with that, but you see that this thing lived here for sure and moved around this area.
Stupid creature.
And are you doing identify there, Orc?
Before I start identifying, I'd be a lot more comfortable if we were confident that this thing wasn't coming back.
Sure.
No, I mean, the one
Can
that
we do
built
a creature check? See if it's gonna come back?
whatever.
A
Is it still
creature
moving?
check.
I
A
don't know,
creature
do
check.
slimes come back to life?
Well, it never really died, remember?
So yeah. Make a nature check to see if any of you recognized what this thing was that you fought. I feel like we did this already, but maybe not.
No, we didn't.
I
Right into it.
Ooh.
What kind of check?
Nature.
Wait, no. Nature.
Holy
18.
fuck. 28? Are you serious?
What?
No, 18. Wrong
Jesus Christ, man.
18 for me.
one. Let me change that real quick.
That's a lot of 18.
God, I wish I had that much
So, you don't know the full ramifications of this specific one. You do recognize that it was a slime-based entity, but it definitely was more sentient than a normal slime. That's for sure.
It was a mother slime.
Which kind of makes you go, I get some familiarity, but I don't know what it
I
was.
honestly think the best course of action is to get the fuck out of here. I mean,
So do you want to go ahead, or why don't we go back to that cross section? Take a nap there.
Whatever we do, I need a long time to rest. Please.
Yeah, whatever we do, I need a long time to do it too.
That is fine, but
Fuck, I am drained.
how long have we last rested?
Not very long.
At this point, with your cave exploring, we're talking that you woke up around 9, and we was 12 when we basically entered. It's probably been, 30 minutes, an hour of exploring and with the fight. So, I mean, we could say just for safety, it's like 1 o'clock. So that means you've been awake for 4 hours, basically.
Yeah, we can. Sorry, guys. We can short rest.
Oh yeah, I'll take a short one. I need some hit dice, please.
And says to those nearby her that if we gather up, she could maybe help us out if we all get close. But
Sure.
it'll take her time to do what she wants to try.
Can we back, like, I know this is just visually, but, like, I want to back out of this whole area here, like, go back.
So
Or
where did I move my papers? Where did my... Oh, there they are.
I mean, at this point, Orc's also going to point out, like, are we really worried about what time of day it is outside? I mean, if we need to take a long rest,
Well, we can't take a long rest after 4 hours of being awake, I don't think.
There's technical limitations that you can't take. You can't benefit from a long rest unless you've, like, you can only do it once per day, technically, but I'm willing to let you kind of benefit as long as you spend about, 12 hours. At least if you spend half a day doing something, you can benefit from the long rest. It would be too early for you to get another long rest right now. You could just kill time and do nothing, but you won't be able to actually heal unless you waste the entirety of the day, basically. You could be idle, talk, and then, go to sleep like 5 hours now. Yes, that is totally acceptable. Your time doesn't have to be spent exploring. It can be idle doing things in your general vicinity, and then you then wait for the 4 hours to kick through, and then it's now going to be about 5 o'clock, and then you go, okay, we're going to go to bed a little early tonight, but you will then benefit. You will get your long rest sooner, right? Just that you had to waste an extra 4 hours doing nothing really except sitting where you are.
I don't think it's smart for us to keep progressing just because
Yeah, fuck that.
5 hours into the day.
Let's stop and rest. Let's make some potions.
I will get started on the identify. I still, are we sticking around here? Because I still think we should keep an eye on this thing either way.
If we're not going to sleep, we can stay in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying by the lines.
Yeah, don't stay by them.
No, I get it, but I'd still, if it starts moving, we want as much heads up notice as we can get, right?
So let's just
I
say,
don't think he's
we're not
there
long
yet.
rested.
If we go to the first catacomb area where we came in and camp there, I think we'll be fine. I don't think he's gonna chase us down. He seems to like this area.
There are bones over there too.
Yeah, I mean, we're trapped in an enclosed space with him. I mean, whether he regroups and tables completely and finds us, or we see him start to move and we just blast him before he gets a chance to recombine. I guess that's kind of the two scenarios, right?
Why don't we keep guard over him?
Sounds good.
That works too.
That works too. Let's just keep a guard over him, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying.
Can we go rest now?
Okay. I'm fine with that. I'm gonna start identifying.
I'm gonna do a short
Yeah,
rest.
identify these boots, please.
Alright, so with that, you guys effectively are electing to squander 4 hours, which is a short rest. You can burn hit dice if you'd like to. Aniel will do one thing for 10 minutes, which is the same thing that your spell's gonna take. So she is going to cast... Where is it? I have to find it. There it is. Yeah, it takes 10 minutes. Okay, so 6 creatures of my choice. There are 7 of us. Ugh, just one too many. Who's not hurt?
I think Roderick and Evelyn are both like.
I am at 28 of 36.
I'm at 22 of 31.
I'm at 15 of 63.
Which of you has more?
Roderick about this. You guys can deal with it.
I have 52 total.
Okay,
He
so
will,
with that, 4 plus. God damn it. 1 plus 11
Roderick
Well,
plus.
if we're going
Captain's-
to like burn hit dice while we do it, just in case something happens, we can like turn around and proc that long rest.
Alright, so Haname, Aniel, Evelyn, Doma, Kawak, and Oric all heal 7 HP. Takes her 10 minutes to do this, but she manages to perform it off.
Okay. Well, while we do this, if any of us are going to burn hit dice in case something happens while we are waiting to proc the long rest, I'm going to go ahead and use Song of Rest for a little while.
Okay. I'm gonna burn 3, so what does that do again?
So he gets to add an extra d6 to the healing you do. As long as you use one of your hit dice, you will.
So an extra 3, and I'm going to burn 3 of my hit dice. So.
I mean,
I'm back up to full.
Annie will actually burn one of her hit dice too, just because it's just too close. Why not? I mean, if we're gonna do a long rest, you're gonna get the one you spend back anyways.
Well, everyone should burn half their hit dice, right? If we're coming up.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, theoretically, as long as you need the healing.
Down to half.
Alright, burn 2 and...
The only thing that would maybe change it is if you could not complete the long rest, then you would have to rely on your hit dice to get through. But you're technically healing with it anyway, so I mean, it's kind of whatever.
It's kind of just in case we can't.
All right, and what'd you roll on your Son of Rest?
I rolled an extra 3.
Extra 3.
Hey, that brings
Wow,
me
that
up to fucking full health.
Aniel is 2 HP hurt, so she's at pretty good now.
I am back to max. Oh my god.
Okay, so now Auric, your ritual, as you finish that ritual to cast your spell, you realize that you have a pair of magical boots. The magical boots are... Actually, let me look it up, sorry. Go ahead and... Roderick, what do you want to do?
I was gonna say, we should definitely contact Luna to let her know the dangers on the path and such.
Did we ever let her know Rukon is dead?
That isn't necessary right now. That is pertinent information. That's something that can be told to her in person.
We told her that anyway. It's fucking our first message.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, right now,
If
there's
we're meeting her, we're obviously not going to make
Just
that.
tell her we're probably going to be late. Somehow ended up in the dance. Inside. How short are you trying to make this? We have a lot of spells to cast, you know. We're about to go for a full rest.
Well, I'm going to cast Dancing Lights just to give us a little bit of comfort room with.
Alright, so Auric, you have found boots of striding and springing. That's what you found. Or really what Roderick found. That's what these items are. This is, while you wear these boots, your walking speed becomes 30 feet, unless your walking speed is higher, and your speed isn't reduced if you are encumbered or wearing heavy armor. In addition, you can jump 3 times the normal distance, though you can't jump farther than your remaining movement would allow.
That's beautiful.
It does require attunement, but that is what the item does.
Before I hand them back, well, that's fine. I say, hey dude, these boots are gonna let you run really fast. You're gonna love not run really fast, but you can jump, you're gonna have some mad ups, you can probably join the NBA even though you're white.
What's an NBA?
It's the National Blah 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 League Association. Yeah, anyway, you can also, these will let you, they'll help you move with heavy armor and stuff. But basically, make it so you don't feel so heavy.
well, I think the way it sounds, it may be better off with either you or Doma.
I don't have heavy armor. Oh, by the way, how's my pickaxe looking?
It's -3.
I know, but how's it looking?
It looks brittle, it looks damaged, it still does its piercing damage, but it's heavily damaged. It's potential that it could break in the middle of a fight.
Doma? Can I see your roll pick for a second?
Sure.
I'm going to cast Mending on it, which I've been trying to do for the past 5 minutes.
Right, so you try to mend what you can out of it, but the thing is it's so mending repairs damage in between 2 surfaces. So if there's a scratch in something, like a tear, let's say you have a flat piece of square. If there's a tear
So
right between there, you can repair that because there's 2 sides to push together. However, if you have a tear like this, and that little cut off portion is gone, you can't mend that. You can't repair it. It's not in between two pieces. It has to actually have be two between it. So you really can't do much. You could kind of help it, and so you might be able to fortify it a little bit more where it's not likely to break. So you can go ahead and make in your case, yeah, this is an Arcana roll. This is absolutely Arcana. It's your knowledge with how you could try to twist this to make it work.
Oh, I didn't mean to click that as well.
By the way, Lyrics, what's it take to dual craft?
We'll get to that in a second. Alright, so what was this? So you had like a 9?
No, it was a 5.
Yeah, okay, so, well, you still have Jack of all trades, plus your int for Arcana. But it's going to be like a +1 plus whatever your int is, so I still don't see it going. Yeah, so, no, you really don't do much for it. It's still a -3 on damage. It's still pretty brittle. If he tries to attack something that's really sturdy, like let's say like a rock elemental, or he attacks a wall, it could break. If it's a sturdy enough substance, it could just snap and his weapon broken. So it's a liability, but that's what it is right now.
Can't really do anything for you, Demo. Sorry.
It's all good. I kind of expected this when I started slaying these slimes.
Okay, so Roderick, you sent a message or sending spell. Okay, how many spell slots do you have available? Like all of them right now?
All of it right now.
Okay, so you send the spell off, and this is what you type. Be careful, orcs.
Can I have you say something else? Or...
Sure.
Just type it on in there.
Oh shit, you guys are still playing? Yes, we are. We're gonna be going to bed soon, though. It's gonna be I'm trying to clean it up in 15 minutes. That's what the goal is. They just finished this really intricate fight, I guess. So you need jewels, you need like raw gems, and then you want to try to, make shit with it. It's making jewelry, man. It's making gems into gems that you would sell for jewelry. It's not a proficiency that really helps you adventuring. It helps you make money. That's what it does.
Yeah, but when I'm waiting, I can always craft things. That's nice.
Okay.
Jewels are potentially like pretty good repositories for spells, aren't they?
Yeah, they could be. Absolutely. Jewels definitely have a very good affinity towards magic. A lot of magic uses jewels. For example, diamonds are used for reviving. And if you can purge the potentially bad portions of a gem, its relative value could be increased, actually, instead of decreased, because you're getting rid of cancerous parts of it. So there's things you could try to do, but you could also damage the item. And so if really it's meant to make you gold, if anything. And it's better to do that if you're in a town with the proper utensils. Even with the tools you have, this is kind of like shoddy yet on the fly kind of jewel crafting. It's better to actually have like a workbench and a safer environment so that the delicate work you do is done with a calm hand. It's much more difficult on the go.
You just don't want to jewel craft, dude.
No, he totally can. You have to tell me what you want to do with it. I can't tell you what. You make jewelry out of it.
Well, I was gonna make a little Krista for someone.
You're gonna try to carve a Krista, like a silhouette out of something?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna make it a little necklace.
That's totally doable. If you're trying to make a necklace, you'll need to smelt some kind of material. Probably something that's valuable, so either silver, gold, platinum, whatever you're willing to contribute, but you'll need to have the raw stuff at hand. You need to smelt it down, you need to make a mold, you need to then throw it into the mold, cool it down. This is a whole process that you'd have to go through. Or have someone else. Or,
a bunch of time, right?
Yes, but you don't have a forge that's nowhere near hot enough to melt metal.
You have orcs mouth.
So you just don't have the means currently to do it. You don't. You need to melt metal. Even like I know you're probably thinking maybe I can carve it. It's potentially possible to carve it out of a substance that's carvable. So maybe if you want to try to sacrifice one of your gems, it's not going to become a necklace. It'll just make a little figurine. It's possible to try it. Could also destroy your gem permanently too. All right, is this the statement going to Relena?
I was gonna say something.
Oh, she's editing it still. Okay,
Okay.
Evie wants to know if Mr. Hoots is. What?
Really?
What? They don't. They haven't even met Mr. Hoots. Way to spoil.
That's not anything. I'm asking something.
Mr. Hoots.
You don't know.
I'm scared now.
I want to know. I'm very curious. I'm the cat that gets killed.
Just one more NPC for us to break.
Mm-hmm. All right. Is this the statement? Is this it?
Yes.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Alright, so be careful. Orc stopped us on the way to Windheim. Found crevice into Medan Mountains. Evie wants to know if Mr. Hoots is scouting. So, your reply back to you is... That sounds dangerous. Please be careful. We'll try to be careful too. Mr. Hoots is always doing what I need him to do. Love, Relina.
Arkelya is all that. but by the way, what Mr. Hoots?
You'll find out eventually.
Oh! Coy! She played coy. Oh.
Okay.
Alright.
Anything else you guys feel need to be related to anybody else?
You have to know the person that you sent to, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I've met them.
Has to know.
And I am. Nope. I'm good.
I did so good with my potion crafting this time, guys.
Are we helping you?
So first of all, Oric, you haven't nominated that you wanted to try to do a nature roll to find herbs. I'm going to remind you that you need to remind me when you go through that.
I'm not looking for herbs, I'm looking to craft.
Right, no, I'm just saying, so keep that in mind. If you don't tell me, I assume that you didn't care about it, kind of thing.
No, I'd like to.
Okay, so I'll allow you to try to do a nature roll for the previous day, which was a very short-lived day, so it's a really hard dice challenge. Good luck.
Okay. 5.
I thought we had a bunch still.
He does have a bunch, but he could always be looking for more.
Okay, so 8 total.
8 total? It's not good enough to get you what I was trying to get you, but oh well. Yeah, you basically... Your previous day was just too wrought with all the problems with the corruption encroaching on your body, and the Babarusa fight, and the Rukan fight, that you couldn't actually have really dedicated the time to look for herbs, basically. So, nothing new added to you. Alright, and what did you roll for your alchemy stuff right now?
It was also a 7, because it's... Our proficiency bonus hasn't gone up, has it?
Nope.
Not yet.
Okay. So it's
I think it's 9, I think.
Because you know we'll eventually get there.
I'm actually at 6, so for crafting. I will ask though, since I've crafted a number of healing potions at this point, is the DC lowered?
So this is more it's more on the lines of, can you complete one period, and if you can, how much does it cost you to try to accomplish it? The more hours you have, the more time it kind of accommodates for it. And so we're looking at a 4-hour window. Gosh, a 6, that's so bad. Okay, so it costs you about 6 ounces of dayflower. The dark conditions, lighting makes it hard. You lose 6 ounces, but you do craft 1 new potion that 4-hour window period of time. It's pretty painful. You're quite frustrated. You know you've done way better, and unfortunately, that's just kept making mistake after mistake, not getting it exactly right to accommodate what you needed to produce a very simple potion for you.
Okay.
So sorry, man. You lost 6 ounces.
No, that's fine. I get it. That's the nature of the beast.
Yep. Sometimes you'll roll great, and you'll get 3 potions, 1 per hour, and it will cost you almost nothing, and then you'll get shit on. Because that means you rolled like a 1?
I rolled a 3.
A 3? Wait. It's plus your proficiency. If you roll a 3, your proficiency bonus is plus 3.
Yeah.
and then you add your intellect on top of it.
Okay, so 8.
Okay, it still doesn't really change much, but okay.
Right.
Okay. Just don't forget it. You do have, there is a modifier on that. You're using your knowledge to try to help you tinker with it. Oh, I'm overboiling it. Okay, turn it down. Doesn't need to be that hot. That kind of stuff.
Last thing, while I'm kind of like, while I've got a potion brewing or whatever, is there anything I can do to like look at the, like, can I derive any of the nature of that ooze?
That ooze? Yeah, definitely. You could spend some of that. You could spend some of your time to try to gain some information from it. Overall, most of your 4 hours was spent on the thing. I mean, unless you guys don't want to go to bed immediately at that 8-hour mark, which you can to wall a little more time. Depends on how much the group's willing to give you. But yeah, you're allowed to spend some time on that if you'd like.
I don't know. I'd basically like smell it and, you know, maybe take like a tip of my pinky.
All right. Well, as soon as you stick your pinky in it, it burns. It's still acidic.
Right.
Good job.
So it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt you. You kind of go, like, and you pull it away. So it hurts a little bit. So you know that there's acid to it. You kind of do your normal troubleshooting, which I would make you do an investigation roll to see your troubleshooting involvement with it.
Can I like
Who's getting the boots, by the way?
like refine it down, like boil it, kind of test it with one of the vibes?
Still investigation no matter what. So yeah, but you can. That's kind of what I'm assuming anyways. You're doing your standard troubleshooting. What can I determine from it? And if you get a good roll, you kind of get more out of it. So what's your total? 23. So this can be used as a catalyst. It can be used for a catalyst for anything that you want with acidic, related to acidic acid. Whether you want to pervert it for doing acid damage or acid protection, your choice. But it's it falls in the realm of a catalyst. You feel like its decomposition rate is pretty slow. It's probably going to last you several months, potentially even longer, before it's just going to lose that potency, which is kind of unusual for an acid because acids usually don't last that long. But it's obviously was from a creature that was very resilient. So yeah, you think you could get several months out of this. You have 3 vials of it. So you have technically 3 vials of a catalyst that could be used for anything for towards acid.
Cool.
Is there anything else you guys would like to do at this moment?
I'm done.
Oh, no,
I can move back to Roger for Kellen. We can worry about who these belong with a little bit later, but on my own boots before we go to bed, I am gonna infuse them with 2 spells. Jump and Long Strider.
As in you're trying to enchant them, or as in you're trying to just prepare for them?
It's one of my traits, infuse non-magical items with spells.
Right, so basically for 24 hours, those spell slots will be stuck in it, and you can trigger it. Right. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
So who's getting the boots, by the way?
You can have them, Doma.
Oh.
If you want.
Sure.
Quack want boots.
Shut up, Quack.
Oh.
Poor Quack.
Cool. Doma have shiny. Quack want shiny.
It doesn't make sense for you to have boots. You wandered off, dude.
You don't really have feet, Quack.
Yeah.
Well, how about bracelet? Doma have bracelet. That new.
That is new.
Alright, I give Doma the boots now.
Alright, Doma, you have the boots. Quack doesn't seem exactly thrilled, but...
I'll toss him my fancy gold watch.
Ooh, shiny. And you see him kind of like looking at it and gleaning off the little bit of light you guys have in the area. Is there anything you guys would like to do at this moment? Or during the 4 hours?
I'm sure there is. I'm just too tired to think about it.
Yeah, we're kind of at the point where I'm trying to stop. I'm just trying to stop on a good note.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted
I'd
to
rather
real
just
quick
finish what I want to
see
do
if I
the
can
next
pull
session.
one and Roger decided to talk to them.
Can I go
What did you
identify
say?
the bones while we're around here? Is there any
Yeah, it was
Did you
4
say-
hours. You can make one nature check to see if you could identify some of these creatures. But your last one wasn't very good, so I'm...
Ouch.
Yeah, that's not gonna help. I mean, yeah, they're some kind of... They look similar to the one you saw previously.
Any large fangs? Nothing cool.
They're not getting good. They're like, they seem to be dissolved. Even the bones dissolved, so you're not getting good reads on it. Just not able to really read it, man. It's a 6. You have like a +1, and it's a 7. Still not really gonna get you anywhere.
All right.
Rip.
You know it's a beast-like creature. You know that it is, like, I mean, you've surmised that most of these are some kind of flying-like creatures. You do have information, so don't feel like I didn't give you anything there. It's just that you're not gaining what it was exactly.
All right. I'm going to try to pull Roderick and Evelyn kind of to the side for speak with them.
Alright, you totally do. So you, Roderick, and Evelyn are kind of coerced as Auric is making potions, Quack is starting to watch, Doma's kind of just chilling there with Aniel. None of them really talking to each other.
Why is it that...
Hey, we're totally talking.
Okay.
No idea about what though.
Why is it that every time I'm endangered, you two are the only ones that seem to care?
I don't know.
How would you even know that? How would you know that? You were unconscious, you wouldn't know.
I was also very busy.
No, it's like every time I wake up from getting knocked out, they're the only two ones I see anywhere. That's how she surmised that.
Well, it's a private conversation I'm assuming we're having since we walked away,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of a stretch for her character to think that, that's all I'm saying.
Laris, what do those boots do?
I'll get it to you later. Let them continue.
You're immune to encumbrance.
Alright, just send me a little snapshot of whatever they do.
Never mind then, apparently. I can't
No,
think of
you
that.
can do it. I just feel like it's a little bit of a stretch. If you feel it's justified, by all means, go ahead and do it.
Well, I mean, out of like 2 days, every time I've been knocked out.
Well, so
always been
there's
on.
also rationale that they're ranged characters and you're a ranged character, and the other people are more melee based, so they're not going to be next to you. I mean, there is counter logic equal to the logic, and so that's why I feel it's just not very.
We're not going to abandon holding a line just to come, like, there's people back there that can support you, yeah. I think
I've got a tank and try and take out the people in front of me.
Yeah, I think that's a silly assumption. But I get it, like,
Same.
And your character is allowed to make assumptions that are wrong too. It's totally acceptable.
Yeah.
I just want you to be aware that I don't really follow the logic on it.
Alright. So that was basically it, so.
I don't even know what to say, honestly, right now, the conversation, so.
I think we're all just too tired. Like, IRL too tired, not
I just
even
don't
here.
get why I didn't really care what a private conversation happens between other characters and their assumptions, but I'm just tired, so that's why I think that way.
What is sleep anyway?
How are you holding up?
Me?
Yeah, he's had kind of a shitty past while.
He's... Well, I mean... I don't really want to say it, but...
Holy, we didn't get to experience Laris' specialized dreams today. Feels bad.
Yeah. The one thing I really do want to check up on you with... No, that can't be easy.
My specialized dreams, what? Maybe draw a conclusion. Why would you not have specialized dreams anymore?
I
It's
know.
almost as if Rukon may have been the reason behind them.
Wow, brownie points!
But it still feels bad. We're not special anymore when dreaming.
You're not
You can
special
spin-
there, but there's plenty of other special things. You guys can die to all the monsters I present to you that apparently somehow almost killed you.
Yeah, that thing wrecked us. God damn. And my poor weapon, I had to take out so many.
I was specifically asking Roderick in character how he was.
Yeah, that's what I thought so too. So I was kind of confused why Doma was responding. Anyways, Doma, here's your boots. This is what they do.
All right. Anyway,
Oh, God, that's long.
I'd like to say I'm okay, but honestly, I'm not. But I mean, this isn't the first time something like this may have happened in my life, so.
Just know we're here for you, alright?
Always.
Thank you. It really means a lot to me.
And I was really starting to like him myself, too. Hanwei's just gonna, like, look down at the ground really sad.
Never easy. But all we can do is our best and keep moving forward.
So,
And
why?
maybe not pick option one all the time and want to go into cave. It's just my suggestion.
I really didn't see much of an option, given the fact that the time it would have taken us to turn around, that warlock seems to have a bit of range on him. If he would have seen us at all, he may have been able to hit us. So,
We'll never know now.
yeah. Do either of you know why that stupid metallic is dancing when we were facing that giant ooze?
Oh my god.
No.
He just likes to have some fun. That's all.
That was not a time for fun.
It seemed fun at least until it got a little more hectic.
It wasn't fun to begin with for me. It just, well,
I understand.
let's just go rest. I'm hurting still.
Agreed.
All right, we shall hopefully not rationalize that she has now a newfound fear of slimes.
Right.
Probably. Has a
Yeah.
newfound fear of
Afraid of
biscuit slime.
puddles, afraid of anything liquid on the ground.
She can't drink water.
You guys make your way back to your little group of people that are kind of congregating around in a circle. Orc is more or less starting to pack up his stuff. He finished making his potions. He seems a little upset, like shaking his head back and forth. Something has upset him. And with that, we'll go ahead and close here. You guys are about to enter a long rest. You have entered into a mountain. So a recap of today's events. Let's see. You interrogated the angel. You rested. You woke up. You decided we're going to head back to Windheim. You run into an old compatriot, Quack, who seems to be in a very bad situation. Orcs are chasing him. You fight the orcs. You dispatch many of them, but then decide to flee. As you flee, you get away. You go back to where you found the necklace. Oh, I forgot to mention you did find the necklace. And you go inside a cave. You start exploring inside the cave, and this giant fish that has formed theoretically from the explosion from the necklace. You fought a giant slime creature that nearly wrecked you guys. Way closer than I felt it should have been, but I mean, bad dice rolls are bad dice rolls. With that in mind, you are all now decompressing and preparing yourselves for a long rest, which will then start next session. So, with that, all the people that decided to spend any moment of time watching us, I hope you had fun and enjoyed yourself. We appreciate Red Pill, the fan fiction that you so diligently provided for Orc's character and your theoretical otter-based humanoid.
Oh, jeez.
It was passed along to the group. It sounds like several of them have read it. It was very amusing. I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. So next Friday we will not be playing. I know that because at least 2 of our members are going to be gone. So we will not be playing next Friday. But the Friday after that, we will be picking right back up from here. So thank you very much. I hope you all had a good time. That's it. Unless someone has a comment they want to make themselves. We're good?
Good night, everybody.
Take care. Have sweet dreams.
Bye, guys.